Nick needs to know. Okay. So, you all went to go see a sage to find the staff for a headpiece that the Elven Princess gave to you that would prevent the horrible amulets from sucking your life away if you weren't close to our friend with an amulet. So, and that should kind of insulate all of you from its effect and trap, and I think you have a scroll that will trap whatever those amulets are summoning in this plane. So then I think you guys learned that those amulets are built to call something out of another plane, perhaps an ethereal plane, into this world.
I'm going to try that.
I'm trying to think what else. So then you negotiate with this demon. He snatched away one of your friends as payment for the insults that initially you gave him.
Most valuable one I can see.
Yeah, the most valuable one. As the insult that you gave him, and he said that in order to repay your debt and to also free and to make your bargain with the sage held up by letting the sage actually kill himself, that or letting him become mortal again. It's too appropriate. But letting him become mortal again, you have to retrieve for him. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to keep it positive here, Chase.
No, it just was reminding me of this thing I saw on Reddit that was like, loneliness is like hunger in Minecraft. It'll bring your HP really low, but it'll never kill you. You gotta do that yourself.
So on Reddit. Always
real.
Reddit. It'll bring your HP really low. Oh, Minecraft.
Anyway, so so this guy will become mortal, not kill himself.
Yeah, he'll just become
That'll
mortal.
be a completely separate decision from the mortality.
That's his choice. I mean, yes, he does have a lot of murder weapons that have been lying around that he's been attempting to use.
Can we warn him? Does it happen like mid-stroke of the guillotine? It's like, oh, he's oh man.
He didn't want to.
But then if he does that, he'll die thinking that he finally solved it.
Yeah.
He's been trying for so many years. This is the one thing I needed to do. The tweak I needed to make.
It was the guillotine with a little bit of butter on the edge.
Yeah,
problem
the butter that did it.
Yeah, it was the butter that did it.
If only I tried this years ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been stuck
Demons
up
hate
here.
this one trick.
Yeah, click here and you find the one trick that frees you from demon curses.
Demons hate him.
Demons hate it. So as you, so you actually follow the two dwarf companions that you had, Bob without any limbs, and it was Athos, which was kind of like the more militaristic of the two. And the Bob you found out was, I think that was one of the slips I made, was Bob you found out was the son of a king, the king of that kingdom, which was the kingdom of the Halls of the Hunting Axe, which is like this kind of dwarvish hall. And the king of those lands, because his son had his arms and legs taken off, he's going to war with the elves. But when you got there, you realized that these mines that they had used to mine a special metal that formed the dagger, and that gives the dagger some special properties and some special abilities over the elements. You found that in the process of them forging that, mining this metal, something has been going kind of funky in the mines, and you see I think you spied on one of their maps, where there seemed to be kind of like a line drawn across the mines with like various markings of like fire, water, fire, water, fire, water. And then you discovered that by going through the inn, I think it's the Owlbear Inn, you could find a hidden passageway into the castle where the king was keeping this dagger. So you became a barkeep, stole the... Yeah, I mean, hey, it's an easy job.
Especially her.
Yeah,
it's definitely a risky job for, The
It's like
alcoholic barkeep.
Sarborn? Take one. So, take one.
Throw a banana away, take a
Take $1.
There's always money in the banana stand, guys. Oh, best episode ever. No touching. I gotta rewatch that. Anyways, so you went through this hidden passageway. You got, and when you woke up to kind of start making this assault on the king's, or like this kind of stealthy approach to the king's palace to steal his dagger, this town had suddenly grown very, very silent. So the town, you heard sounds of you heard noise coming from the mines. It could be that that some of the troops had already, kind of mustered to go and fight the elves, but you've not really heard much news. You just heard, I think, from the innkeeper that there was something going on with the mines. So you stole a little key that would help unlock the door to get you up to the palace, and then once you arrived in the king's bed chambers. Heyo.
Booty call.
Let me see, which map is this? I don't know which map that is, but we'll just draw it. So you arrived in the king's bed chambers, and it's a massive, upper, almost like a house within a house. It's kind of like his private, throne room, all these other things. Whoever wants these, I'm just going to leave them here, because I got what I need. And I had a pencil that I actually put on the table. Here we go. So there's a big complex, and you guys are just emerging in a kind of a storage locker here. The doors creaked open, and you can see a bedroom here. There's some clothes and bits of stuff just on the walls, and you just came through a hole in the ground here, and then you hear. So you're in this kind of cramped storage locker. You see old clothes, kind of stuff the king probably hasn't used in a while, but it's all very nice stuff. And just outside the crack of this half-open door, you see a very ornate bed, and you hear the sounds of battle echoing further down the hallway. And our dear friend, who's been in the ethereal plane, has been, unbeknownst to you all, just kind of, his presence has drifted along with you all, because for some reason, in this immense plane of complete emptiness, there's only the only things that he can really make out right now are these vague figures of you guys, his companions. So, just out of lack of nothing else to follow, because he probably would have followed literally anything else.
I immediately would have set up a lawn chair and kicked it. And basked in the fact that I had finally found peace.
Yes.
Alright, yeah, I'll follow the strange floating heads or whatever.
Yeah. So you follow your companions, but all you've been able to see up till this point are your companions. But suddenly you sense a piece of metal. Further, maybe your companions are here, let's say, and you sense a piece of metal very, very far here, and you start to see different pieces of metal appear. So there's a very long piece of metal here, all you can see outlines, stuff that will be woven into clothes of this strange metal. Stuff that's been
I go up to the closest one and grab it.
So you reach for it, and your hand passes through. But it stops for a second as you're going through the middle. And then all of a sudden, everybody give me a perception check.
And in my head, I'm thinking, this fucking bullshit-ass plane. All I wanted was a nice metal piece of whatever that was.
Natural 20.
Alright, so you notice that one of the nice ornate gowns that has this metal woven into the arms, it suddenly shifts and starts moving.
A nice ornate what?
It shifts. It moves without anything,
what was it,
with
though?
no breathe.
What was it?
A nice
A gown.
ornate
Got it,
gown, a kind of a formal gown that has middle work kind of woven in, decoratively, and that just moves.
So I like my gown.
Did anyone else see that
They're
gown?
dwarves,
Anyone else see that gown move a little bit?
What?
Did you get into the spice again?
Just a touch. I mean, we were infiltrating a palace. Who knows what kind of germs are lurking in the sewers that got us here?
True.
Can I do an Arcana check?
Yes, you may.
Also, before I forget, I had bought a necklace with shield symbols on it at
Yes.
the last shop, and have I sufficiently
You
attuned
did.
now?
You had a few. Well, you bought that in
In
this
town.
town, right?
Yeah. So I guess I don't.
So you-
we haven't long rested since then.
No, because you were woken up in the middle of the night. But it'll probably be. What? What did I write down?
Wait, what woke us up in the middle of the night?
The sounds of battle coming,
Yeah.
or like the
Remember
sounds of
we-
chaos and people running around
we just
outside.
helped the guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. That's right.
And he was freaking out, and everybody was like in the mines.
16 on the Arcana check.
16 on your Arcana check. So you sense that that particular metal, from your extensive knowledge, is something that binds to an elemental plane. And that's what the dwarves were mining from this particular mine. And it's used in it's very expensive and it's very rare, and that's why these dwarves got so loaded. But
Can I take the robes?
yeah, you take the robes. So you have. Do you wear them or do you just put them on?
Yeah. And do they look like they fit?
They're a little
Is it a
baggy,
gown?
but a little short. But
Is
yeah,
it a
mostly.
gown? That's what I want to know.
Pardon me?
Is it a gown?
Yeah, it's like a
It's a
regal.
I guess-
Fancy
it's-
nightgown?
Does
Yeah,
it
I was
qualify
like, it's a
as
robe.
something I can wear a cloth?
It does, yeah. So it would be like a cloth robe.
Does he now look like a beautiful princess? Is my
yeah, so
question.
it's
Main-
definitely
yeah.
Yeah.
it's definitely decorative in nature, and its purpose is to show off wealth, right? Like so, it's
Is it
it's like
for
having like
female?
platinum.
It's
I'm
like,
into
it's like the
this, yeah.
Mario crown where you put it on, it turns you into a princess like Bowsette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what am I
Perfect.
what am I adding for this?
So it is going to be. I would treat it like a cloth robe right now, but it does have magical properties, of which you will need to attune.
Okay.
But I would call it the what is this hall place called?
With the hunting knife?
Hall the Hunting Axe.
Axe, sorry.
The Hunting Axe's
Axes.
formal robes.
Nice.
Okay.
Axes. Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
do a perception check
Mhm.
on, or well, how good of a picture do I have of? Do I just see kind of figments of them, or do I actually see them?
Well, you see, so you see a kind of outline, a kind of like an ethereal human outline. It's their whole body, and you see those like little strands of metal go onto his arms.
But
as he
do I
puts this
see
robe on.
him react to me moving it? Like,
Yes,
can I
you
tell?
notice that he's like,
Okay.
oh,
So okay, I'm down for rolling.
yeah. I mean, because that would be like you can
'Cause that's what I
tell
mean, like,
kind of where they are, but they can't.
So I want to continually go up and just start pressing around on this metal and try to get his attention.
So suddenly your robe starts just jerking, and
Oh,
actually
oh my-
you find that
oh.
your hands
Are you
can find
twerking?
more purchase once it's touching a human. So you suddenly start doing a little dance.
He's
Just
freaky.
Paddington looks out.
This is a nice robe. This is it's like a massage.
I'll give him a nice little shoulder massage
Yeah,
and work my way
yeah.
down the lower back.
Can-
you know,
Can
where I
I?
stop, I don't know.
So I obviously can tell.
You too.
I obviously can tell there's something happening.
Yeah, there's something happening to your robe.
Am I able to determine if it is like the robe's own magical properties? If it's something else that like somebody in the vicinity that's casting magic on me?
I would roll Arcana
Okay.
again.
Oh, not great. 12.
So you can tell that this isn't following a normal. So you know the rhythms and the patterns that magic takes, and this seems to not have a magical rhythm. It seems to be something that a organism is doing. You know, it's like a.
Okay.
It's not some sort of one of it's not like electricity works in very structured ways. Magic works in very structured ways. It's not that.
Okay. I share all of this with the group.
Okay.
As I continue to
Yeah, have
be
some more. It's on the kitchen by the coffee shop.
as I continue to be felt up by the air, I share all of this with the group.
Hey, ooh, let's
I
take
see him enjoying this dress, and I start to kind of like see if I can find another one for myself.
Give me a perception check.
That's a 22.
So you look through the robes, but this is like really expensive stuff. You don't see any of the metal in this room, but because you rolled so well, you see some of it is worked into some of the decorative items in the room. You see this, like those posterns on the bed, those kind of long things that have like a thing coming off it. Those have the metal woven into them, and it's sort of like in anything that can be ostentatious will have It's sort of like their version of like an easy correspondence, like mithril. It's like
Are there any,
they're
like,
really nice.
Are there any
like, very
weapons
rare.
or anything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same
Are there any
for weapons.
Weapons made with this metal or using it? Or
So,
bows
from
or
your
armor.
knowledge, you are a barbarian, so you don't know. Because your wisdom isn't so great. All you know is that...
So I can't tell the difference.
So, yeah, I don't know if you can tell the difference. All you know is that the dagger that you're supposed to get is supposed to be forged from this metal. And you in the ethereal plane see that your amulet, the two halves of it, or the two quarters of it, they seem to have a similar shine as all the metal that you're observing around you.
Can I wisdom check or whatever to see?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I'm also looking for weapons
Yeah.
in the room. Weapons.
So again, in the bedroom you don't see any weapons, but you do because I think you are more. I forget what. Yeah, I think you. What's your base?
Base wisdom. Says +2, and there's a 15 under it.
Yeah, 15's fine. Yeah, so
Okay.
so you are able to discern that. Oh, hey, this metal is probably this rare element that is getting extracted from these mines. That dagger that you're looking for is forged from. Like
Okay.
it sounds like forging a weapon from this stuff takes a lot of craft and skill more than decoration.
Okay, but none of us are able to know what the name of the metal is.
Did you guys did the guy tell you?
I don't think so.
What's the metal from Avatar? Unobtainium.
Unobtainium. Yeah.
No, I think this one.
Very difficult
so
to
I can-
obtainium.
I will assume because you've been in the town, and it's not like it's like it's a sort of kept secret, but because the demon, I'll just say the demon told you. It's called Alorasium.
Alorasian.
So it's a reference
Gee,
to
I
a book, but yeah. Have you guys read Mistborn? No. Okay. Well,
Yes.
yeah.
You haven't read Miss Moore?
I read like book 1, but I don't remember Alorasian.
Alorasium.
Just like give Alarak.
Alright.
No.
Not too bad. Alright. Yeah.
Cool,
So it's
cool.
called Alorasium. They had a different name here, but I.
Fuck those guys, right?
Those guys.
Yeah.
I only
creative.
use their names when I can't think of anything more fun.
Creative license.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So it's called Alorasium, and that was what the demon, we'll say, told you last session about. This knife is made of Alorasium, even though it has a ruby, like a very big ruby, bolted into the hilt, that's supposed to attune the Alorasium to something particular.
So the demon told us that the dagger was preventing him from having any sort of... that was preventing him from influencing this guy in any way, correct?
So actually the dagger, the only reason he can't, so like the demon do their own set of rules, they're only bound, they can only really have influence over people they've made bargains with.
Oh, and he refuses to bargain. He wants this dagger.
He's like, I'm keeping it, I'm the king, I don't need anything, I'm happy.
Okay.
And so this demon hasn't been able to present him a offer that is appealing enough, so he needs another mortal to take it in order to actually be able to access and part of their bargain to give it to him. But he will have a lot more control over you all because you've made a bargain with this demon.
Right.
Fortunately.
How dare you?
Do I have any indication? No, I'm gonna go with no. That there's something on another plane affecting that's what's causing this to happen.
So you just know that there's something that is acting with force that doesn't seem to be like a magical construct. It's not part of the coat, but something is influencing it.
Can I can't hear anything that they're doing, right?
You can, if you go very close, you can hear these vague like warbling things, but you can't hear
But I
too
can't
well.
discern speech. Okay.
Yeah,
And I'm not.
you would have to succeed on a very aggressive check.
Can I watch closely as this effect is happening to the robes?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I want to see if there's anything that would indicate what it is. If it's like a sharp object, if it's a handprint, or whatever it is that is like affecting the cloth.
So you see that as you're looking at the cloth, like the cloth woven into the sleeves, for example, seems to only jerk, like as if something is moving it by hand. So it doesn't move like all of it at once. It's kind of a portion of it at a time, mimicking what like a normal person grabbing a cloak would look like.
Okay. Yeah. I think I have a way to learn more about this, but it doesn't feel fair without. Like, I don't think there's any.
Yeah. You can take some action as well. So
I
you can kind of hear like, what's going on? Woo. But, like, they don't really know.
That's what you sound like.
It's very vague. Like,
So, I would like to make a perception roll to try to discern what they're saying, in that I will listen as the things progress, such that if there's something that I can react to try to make them understand what's happening. I don't know what that is yet, but I basically want to be keeping my ears out for something where I can like sort of react violently to, right?
yeah.
Can I hang Christmas lights on the wall to see if he spells out a message?
I'm coming for you, baby.
Season 3 when.
Yeah, that's true.
While this is going on, I just put on a gown at this point, just because I think.
Yeah.
I will now be in a gown for the duration of.
So yeah, you throw a gown on. It's just a formal robe.
With
so
some, it
doesn't
doesn't too fancy.
It doesn't have any. It doesn't have any AC, but you only see around the cuffs middle. It's like the kind of like the cheaper
that's
version
fine.
down. It's not
No, I'm
woven
not
into
even
the
caring
arms.
about the.
This
no,
was the
I just
off the
wanted to
rack.
look pretty.
Yeah, this is the off the rack. Yeah, so it's
Kind of
only
the
really
outlet.
It's over my leather armor, by the way, so I don't get.
Yeah, but it won't give you any extra
Yeah.
So I'll do my
I just wanna-
Yeah, go ahead and do your
perception check.
perception. Alright.
That's a 16 plus my
Yeah,
perception,
you got a
which
decent
is
amount.
which is
I gotta actually pull up my D&D Beyond so I know what checks to ask for because I forget.
my perception is here somewhere.
This is a very sweet Malbec.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange.
Also, if you like whiskey, I have one of my favorite rye whiskeys that I got. It's very strong, so you have to definitely put
Yeah,
ice
it's
or water
definitely
in
doing
it.
a number.
Yeah.
Alright,
he's
I'm
gonna
gonna finish
die.
this glass and move on.
23.
Noise.
Would me doing an Arcana check do anything here? See here?
You could. Yeah, so very good roll. So he rolled like 16, I think, which isn't like...
Yeah,
Great.
Also 16, so probably don't
Okay,
worry.
yeah.
Deal.
So yeah, don't worry.
Alright, so you.
So,
So
yeah,
I
so then you
rolled
got a
23.
You got a 23, yeah.
I'm just basically
So you're
keeping
able
my
to sense
ears
a
out.
pretty. You're able to sense, and if you lean close, you can make out most, like 90% of the conversation, and you're able to sense that they are seeing this phenomenon, but there's a lot of other stuff going on, and you're beginning to see more kind of like almost figures starting to appear way down. It looks like a plane to you, so you only just see a plane, but you see these like heads,
So
like, and these like arms start to kind
when
of come
I'm
into
like
view and out
grabbing
of
it,
view.
but like, am I actually able to grab it, or is it just like I kind of push and it kind of pushes its way through, and they feel it go in that direction?
So you can grab the middle as it's close to them. So the other
Okay.
middle in the room you can kind of push, but once
So
it attaches to
when I'm,
somebody,
when
it's
I'm
able
all
to.
up on him because I see something coming, I'm going to shake him violently, and I'm going to try to like force pull in the direction of the other people,
Of
just
these
to
other
try to
people.
like warn them that there's something.
All right, so suddenly your cloak grabs you and it starts dragging you towards the front of the room.
Right.
Do you wanna
All
resist
Doctor
it?
Strange, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to resist it or do you want to?
Yes, I want to resist it.
Give me a
Because
strength.
I
give me
don't
a-
like being pulled in a random direction.
So give me a strength.
or touched in general.
I mean, you don't
mean,
know
but
if.
but
does
if
it-
you're going to
Are
be
you gonna
touched
do
through the
this?
veil
Is
of the
it?
ethereal
Is it?
plane,
Do I feel just the cloak itself pulling me, or like the robe itself, or do I feel like
You feel whatever because he has to grab them. All he can see is the middle. So you just feel those two bits of middle that have been woven into this, like suddenly start yanking
Is
you
this
forwards.
athletics?
It'll be just raw strength.
Just
for
raw strength.
Actually, I think athletics actually could play. Athletics, so you can do athletics against athletics as well.
13 for me.
12 for me.
Ooh.
14 minus 2.
So you, it's not a big difference, but you're able to kind of like you're able to fight your way into the room, but your head kind of like leans forward and it pokes out the door, and you see at the end of the hallway, a set of what looks like things made of fire that are kind of walking around and fighting with dwarves very, very far. Because this is a huge, so you barely catch an inch. Like it's like 4 or 5. This is a room, And there's the door open. There's another room here. There's the door open. There's another room here, and there's the door open. And you see just some action going on out there.
Okay.
So way down the hallway.
And who was the one that sensed the metal? It was you, right? You and from your plane, you're able to sense.
I can see the metal coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of Kanye. Remember when you went on that adventure with them?
Kanye the Giant. I'm a giant.
Remember
yo.
when you know Hobbit? That's what Fox has to be. Jeff, remember when you were writing your novel in that basement without windows? Can you tell me what you know Hobbit again?
And there was that wizard.
Yeah. Wait. Remind me again how you know Hobbit? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then there's also Kanye the Giant. I completely forgot about
Yeah,
Kanye
I was
the
thinking
Giant.
Kanye the Giant. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's the South Park episode where Kanye West is trying to remember why Kim Kardashian is not, in fact, a hobbit.
He calls her up.
That's what he calls her up. He's giving a lecture to the class about how she is definitely not a hobbit just because she goes out on adventures with short individuals, and they call them. Remember when you went on that adventure with them dwarves? Mommy, how you gonna get there? You ain't no hobbit? What?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Mark is so weird sometimes.
So good though.
How did they come up with that?
They're brilliant.
Okay,
You're gonna start on my
also,
writing game.
also, fuck it. I'm gonna put on the necklace with the shields because it's a picture of shield. How
All
bad
right.
could it be?
Put it on.
I feel like there's nothing bad
Alright.
that could happen with that.
So, as you put on the necklace, you feel like almost a tension go over your skin, and your AC increases by 1.
Yeah.
So you imagine
And
how
wait,
this happens.
as you wear an amulet of protection.
Nice. All right, where do I put that? Would it be in equipment?
Should be an
Yeah.
item, right?
That actually might be a real
I
item.
think it's a real item. I don't know the
Amulet of
exact.
protection?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Amulet of protection. It's a minor amulet of protection, if that.
Okay. I want to try and start communicating with the robe. So like pick it up and try and do like one of those things where like you touch hands and like wave it around.
Do you make it awkward?
What?
I feel like, do you make it
Well,
awkward?
here, pretend you're the robe.
That's the most awkward thing
That's
that's
what
ever
I did.
happened, Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
anything happen?
So, I mean, the robe is still attached to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
So
mildly
the
interested.
robe
so.
lifts up, and then you suddenly see one of your companion's hands touch, and you're like, "Oh,
I'm
that's that
blushing.
cleric."
And I
Oh,
feel,
he
like,
recognizes my hand.
I feel a warmth come over
And you
me.
feel like if he was doing pottery, you might be able to guide his hands.
No ghosting.
That's all I've ever wanted.
If only if you were Patrick Swayze or whatever his name is.
You did recognize my hand though, apparently.
But did you recognize mine?
Nope.
Because he can very it's like you're looking at someone through a pool. It would be like the best amalgam. It's like Kenny's blurry. Yeah. AC plus rolls. Oh, and plus 1 to saving throws.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So plus 1 to saving throws as well.
That's
Sorry
real
about that.
bad.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
So,
I look
so am I still being jostled by things pulling me? Do I have a better?
Yeah, so
do I have a
you're
better
able to
understanding?
fight it off enough to where you're able to stay in the room and kind of manage this movement. But you do go out and you see down in the hallway, you see some what looks like fire elementals and fighting. You see one. It's at the very end of the hallway. There's not the action hasn't come in here yet. And then you see in this other room, you see what looks like over here. You see this like very ornate display case.
Mm.
So very fancy display case. And then you see some other bright kind of light shining in this room. It's almost like it's sort of like a lounge with a lot of fancy stuff put around in there.
I want to do something to investigate that safely, but it's hard to say it's not motivated by the fact that I know some information.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard not to metagame, but it's okay. We don't have to be perfect. We're not metagame Nazis.
So I can't stealth well. So my inclination would be to blink.
That's so dang good.
My inclination would be to blink instead of stealth because I don't stealth well.
Yeah.
Do you blink usually?
No.
I mean, I've
So
never
what? So
popped
now
it.
describe blink. Does blink? That's when you.
Blink teleports me to an ethereal plane.
Oh hey!
But is it the same ethereal plane? Is the question.
It is the ethereal plane. There is only
Get
one.
fucked.
What's
All
up,
right,
how you
go ahead and
living?
blink.
Yeah, you tell me. You tell me if I
I'm-
like. I'm
I'm
going to
gonna
invest. I want to go investigate that thing, but I saw the fire elemental in the distance.
yeah. Feel free. I'm totally okay with you seeing him. You guys still have no idea how to get him out. So
I'd like to blink. I'd like to blink to go investigate the box over
I
there.
think we
Okay.
can get him out easy, guys.
So as you blink,
handle it.
as you blink to the as you
Just let me handle it.
and do you walk in the ethereal plane to like survey it? So like, is it like a
wouldn't blink,
stealth
by
where
the way.
you're walking, or do you teleport and teleport back?
I shift into the ethereal plane and then walk around in the ethereal plane, which is like basically a mirror world. It's like the upside down and Stranger Things, and I see things in kind of a grayish
A hue.
a hue and don't fully see everything.
Okay.
Wait, and this is my
Oh, did I accidentally steal it? Is it this one? Yes, I accidentally stole it. Feels bad.
Rude.
Much tendencies. It's like I don't have enough dice, you know? It's an addiction. Okay, so you jump into the ethereal plane. Suddenly you see a hazy form right with your crew. Like there's some hazy form that's grabbing onto your shirt. But you're able to push through it, and you walk into a very nice, very classy looking bedroom.
Okay.
And you walk forward into this beautiful bedroom, and then suddenly you see another extremely bright figure on the ethereal plane further back out here. And it seems to be it's almost glowing, and there seems to be these coiling lines of red and blue wrapping and spiraling around it.
So wait, so we came out of the bedroom.
Yes.
I got shoved magically into a hallway,
Yeah.
and then to my right in that hallway.
So then you walk kind of out of this little, you walk into the bedroom, and then in this, and you walk forward, I imagine, to see what's in here. So you see here is a very fancy, very classy kind of display room. And it has a few nice couches, like, sort of like a bourbon drinker's dream, leather
Right.
couches, gorgeous gold.
And
filigree stuff.
further down was the fire elemental.
And further down was not, you can tell it's not one of the elementals, because the elementals fade. They become kind of that same color as that extra figure.
Okay.
But this is some other kind of being that seems to be similar to you. Someone who seems to have a magical affinity, and they are kind of wrapped up in these.
And where are they relative to me?
They're further back. They're maybe like another room. Because there's a huge hallway that connects us to the rest of the complex down here, and they're like down here somewhere. And as he comes into your plane, you can suddenly see this figure as well, but they are kind of gray and hazy to you. But they're starting to grow more into focus.
How close am I to it?
You are maybe 100 yards, 300 yards, 200 yards. Sorry, like 100 yards. Sorry, yeah, about 100 yards.
How
away,
long do you
300
stay
feet.
in the ethereal plane when you blink?
1 minute.
So as
Well,
time goes on,
At the
he
end of
starts
each
to
of
come
my
more-
turns,
Yep.
I can like re-vanish into it, but the duration is 1 minute. So I assume out of combat it's just persistent.
And as you remain in the plane, he starts to come more clearly into focus. So you recognize Twitchley Switch among kind of these gray rooms.
Twitch. We tried to
son of a
save you.
bitch.
Oh, whoa!
You had one job. Don't
I feel-
sacrifice me to the demon guy. But
Look.
no, what do? You throw my ass into this place.
I feel
You are taking me with you, you asshole.
like there's no blame. Who's
There
really
is
at
one
fault?
person to blame, and I'm looking at it.
Is the demon? Is he here? Is that because he's? That's,
I mean, sure.
Look,
sure.
sure.
It's what you had to do. You had to sacrifice someone, so your good pal Twitchley's like, I know who would get thrown under the bus. Let's throw this guy. He's not even here. Whatever.
I want to be
He also
clear.
rolled a 2.
I want to be clear because the others can't hear me right now.
Where did he
I
go?
voted to
No.
save you.
It wasn't you put me up to a fucking boat? Are you kidding me?
Well, how would
Practice
you
my
have done it?
curtsies.
Oh, how would I have done it? Killed the guy that was making us make the bargain, perhaps?
Well, hindsight being 2020, that seems reasonable.
Racist.
Anyway, now that you figured a way to get your ass into here, I'm assuming you can magic your way out of here with me
So
in tow.
because our other fellow succeeded on his perception checks,
Uh-oh.
suddenly that glowing red and blue figure's head snaps in your direction. Because of
Now
some
look what you've
loud
done.
arguing.
Okay, well, here we go, pointing the fingers again.
I was finding here by myself, and all of a sudden your ass goes up, and now this guy's like,
Maybe-
oh look, there's
maybe-
no one to go kill
Maybe
now.
if you had used your ethereal plane voice, this wouldn't be an issue.
You know what? Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't quite developed it since you fucking trapped me here.
Oh, that seems like it's on you.
All right, so
I beg to disagree.
Okay.
the figure comes into this first room. You guys are still right.
You two are still.
For what it's
jerking
worth,
it in the
I
plane,
hope you
right?
go back. I'll stay here until the fight's over. If
And
you
then-
die, okay.
And then you three perceive a kind-looking, like kind of middle-aged gentleman with a plain brown robe and a few like strange like tattoos along his hands. He comes into the room.
Does he see us yet?
No, you guys are still in this closet.
Okay.
He comes
Yeah.
into this. You guys are all still in the closet.
Really still.
Kelly?
Yeah. I cast.
Closet.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace.
Alright, so you cast Path Without Trace. So this person
So we need
looks
to roll
around.
stealth, right?
Yes, so you guys
So
need
we
to
all
all
get
roll
plus
stealth.
10.
Plus 10 to
Yeah.
stealth for everybody.
Alright.
Let me see what my...
You two.
I'm staying in the ethereal plane.
Wait. So.
24.
Heavy
Okay.
armor gives me disadvantage on stealth. Right?
Yes. Gives you
Okay.
disadvantage.
That's plus 10.
Plate
Absolutely.
mail. Feels bad.
That's a 17, and that's a 19. Cool, so 17.
Wow. Lucky man.
Oh wait, plus the
Plus
10.
10.
It's like
So, yeah.
26. Yeah, we're good.
I got
So you
24.
just.
We good.
My movie.
Yes. Who's some grandma's boy? So you can tell he doesn't seem. This person looks around this plane's room, and he kind of like doesn't see anything, and he's still over here, right by the door where kind of the battle's going on, and he's like looking back to see making sure everything's going okay, and then you see him kind of close his eyes, and then this kind of spiraling column of water and fire kind of congeals into like a kindly old man, and he starts looking around.
And what does he look like to us while he's doing this?
He just seems to have kind of closed his eyes and gone into a meditative state.
See what you did?
Did he get the spice too?
Yeah, what you plan to do is now you're big shot.
I'll handle it.
It's in
Hello, sir!
Go magic him up by all means.
So you hail this person,
Yes.
and he says, "So you hear,
Sir,
Nancy.
I seem to have taken a wrong turn. I am very lost in here. I was wondering if you could help me find my way back.
are you one of us, my friend?"
And
And
is he a
he,
dwarf?
I'm just
no,
imagining
he's a
you're-
human. He's a human, very plainly dressed, kind of almost like an aesthetic type, like kind of a simple aesthetic or whatever, with like a simple cowl, like a kind of
Is it
rope
Instagram
tied around his
model?
waist.
One of us. No, I'm not a dwarf, if that's what you're asking. So yes, I am one of us.
How did you arrive here in
I think I
in the elemental planes?
took a left at the hallway, then a right. It gets so jumbled up in this place.
Wait, so is this on the ethereal
I see.
plane or?
Yeah,
It's
we're in
on
the
the plane.
ethereal plane.
This is
Okay, so
I-
we're not seeing
I
it.
have-
So
We're
you
not
just
seeing
see,
this.
We're hiding in the
this
closet.
strange gentleman with his eyes
like
closed
that.
in the hallway.
I have this bad habit of slipping in and out of different planes and always get jumbled up.
Understandable. I must ask why you are here. Besides mistaken accent.
I'm gonna have to go with that one.
Give me a deception.
Also, while we're stealth, I want to get out and start looking.
Oh,
for the
natural
dagger.
20.
He says,
Nice.
well, seems like it may be a most unfortunate accident for you, my friend. And he holds out his hands, and he is going to roll an attack.
Even for a natural 20 for him?
Well, he's like, yeah, it's a bummer. He believes that it was an accident when
Oh.
he got
You,
here.
you
He's like,
deceived him into believing it was an accident. He
Yeah.
just doesn't give a shit.
This is happening in the real world.
so you just
Are
see
we
him.
sufficiently stealth to kind of
Yeah,
like,
you're
go get
sufficiently
behind
stealth.
him and hike
Yeah.
my axe
You're gonna
out?
give him the balls.
That's kind of the plan. I was thinking
Good
with
plan.
the axe in the balls. So like,
Just like,
So yeah,
just like
he's
a
still
crafter.
Just
his
this
eyes
innocent
closed.
looking old man who's just like meditating on
And you're like, you know what I'm gonna do?
axe to the ball.
Chop off his balls. With an axe.
Since I've been
how
traveling with you
peaceful he
folks,
is.
I've become a little bit more violent than I used to
He
be.
looks so
He looks like he definitely wouldn't expect it. I'm just gonna do it.
Right in the nuts.
I'm just gonna have my axe out just in case because I'm smart.
We are the kind of people that remove somebody's limbs. All four
So
of
yeah,
us.
so all
He
you,
kind of grew him back.
Kinda.
all you
got baby
three
limbs.
have perceived is an old man is walking through the room, closed his eyes, and put his hands together.
And so your idea is, we're gonna fuck this guy.
So
I'm ready to fuck him up if I
I would
need
have
to.
you ask yourself, is this metagame?
Are you and
No.
have you crossed over? If you are going to straight up slay this man,
I'm not.
Are you now
Okay,
evil?
okay,
Let
okay.
me clarify.
So what's your action?
Well, this is a strange guy. We're trespassing. I want to be
Yeah.
prepared in case the situation goes
Okay.
awry.
Okay.
And be in a position.
So now
where
you're still stealth and you're coming
Yeah.
up to here. So he's
I'm not
in
gonna
this.
actually attack him.
he's
But
not
if I have
in
to, I
the-
want to be behind him so I can surprise him, just
So-
in case. Because
So you're gonna
what
go
we don't
through.
know.
I just want to be
have the
prepared.
axe
I
right
hit
by
him in
the
the nuts with an
balls.
axe. I just want to be prepared.
Okay.
If he's fine, then it's fine. I'm not gonna kill him. But
So you're
he's just
going to-
attacking us.
Be cool, guy. Be cool.
So you're gonna go through the bedchamber, through the trophy room, and to this place and get behind him.
Because we're still,
He's over here. I'll put a little.
Then why did we go in the closet?
That's where you came up from the
We
underground staircase.
started.
Right. Okay.
So this is the strange old gentleman.
in a way, you've always been in the closet.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Alright.
So this is a strange old gentleman,
I am gonna.
and you guys are here.
We're stealthed.
You all are stealth.
I'm looking
Well,
for
let's
the
just-
dagger.
And you will have.
Looking for the dagger.
Okay, you're looking for the dagger. So you come forward, and you see in this main trophy case a ornate golden dagger with a ruby hilt.
So I'm gonna move.
And then
That's probably
in all these other trophies, you see, and you guys actually, because
Real
it's
fake
composed of
daggers.
this metal, you see
Not
you don't
this
see the you see a dagger composed of this kind of like faded looking metal, which is kind of how you perceive it in its plane, and you see that something is on fire at the bottom of this dagger, so it's just like burning. That
probably
golden
hot.
ruby is burning, huh?
It's probably hot. I wouldn't touch it.
No. So yeah, that's what you
No,
guys
it's fire.
perceive in your
I
plane.
wouldn't touch it.
Yeah,
And
but
you
it just
see
looks
the
like a
ruby
normal.
yeah, it looks like a normal dagger.
dagger to us.
That's how people
Okay.
die.
Are there
Fighting
any
things they don't understand.
other daggers in the? Also, like, how, does it match
Like,
the
is there like a
description?
cornucopia
Yeah,
of
it
daggers?
matches the description.
Okay.
And it looks like it's his kind of prized piece. It's in the very middle of the room. Around the other room, you see other items, rings, amulets, like kind of crown, like
Steel
hats,
like a
all
fucking
made from this
grab
from
it.
this metal.
Can I do
Okay.
a check on traps?
Yeah, I have.
Is
A,
that
can I use my trap wand?
Oh, you have a trap
you
wand?
got a
Trap
yes.
wand probably works better.
So
Nice
go ahead
try.
and
You wouldn't
use
say
your
that, though.
trap.
Yeah,
Cute.
All right. Wand of secrets.
You want to try this, Adam?
We'll try it so you can
Wanna try
find
it?
more
Yeah.
straps.
Is your trap wand more dubstep or hip hop?
It's nasty.
Do you want to split a glass of the whiskey with me?
Yeah.
Actually,
I'll get one.
Right?
it's new as a lo-fi.
I'm gonna go grab that. Where is the whiskey?
It's on the counter right by the
what that
coffee
means.
machine, and the ice is in the freezer, which you probably will need unless you want to. You'll definitely have to open it up. It's very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open it up and then close it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Close
Alright,
it.
the wand has 3 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend one of its charges and drop the base.
Yeah. Drop the base.
If a secret door or trap is within 30 feet of me, it'll pulse and point to it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so as
bonus
you,
text,
um,
if you spice beforehand, it's twice as effective.
I'm gonna live forever.
Spice helps
We're
everything.
gonna be young. We're all young.
Okay.
All right. So as you use your second of 3 charges on this one,
Oh wow, you're actually tracking it.
because you used the one.
Yeah.
When you
Will
checked
you
it,
try
yeah.
to bamboozle
No,
them?
I have it too. I totally have it too. I could totally have the same number.
It's where like I don't know about current events. I don't know about anything that my brain randomly remembers.
Gosh darn it, you remember so many times.
Okay, so what do we got?
So it shoots towards the trophy case,
Where the dagger is.
where the dagger is, and it kind of points towards the glass top around it, and then it wavers and kind of tries to point again, as it were.
Traps. I reached the same conclusion.
So what we need to do is go from the
It's a
bottom.
dub trap. Just kidding.
Oh,
Sorry, I know. I should just jump over the balcony, right? Yeah. Just the balcony, real quick. Yeah.
Just let yourself out.
Saving us.
Yeah. Please, someone kill me. I've gone too far.
So it seems legit. We should try and grab it.
Let's just grab it.
Yeah. Let's try and like
The
put a
worst
hole in it from
thieves
underneath.
ever.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're,
it's like
you're a
the-
rogue.
Your wand
You're
does
a
indicate
thief
a trap.
by trade. Is not
Yeah.
you're
Right.
helping steal things.
Okay, so in your
Probably
world,
fake.
this
probably
kind
fake.
gentleman
Probably fake.
has made a attack on.
I'm gonna assume there's not like a preamble to this attack.
So he just smiles, and suddenly, like these kind of tendrils of blue and red light reach out from around him, and
I don't have time for an action before that.
It's going to be a surprise attack.
Okay.
And it will be does a 15 hit.
It definitely does.
So
Any number you would have said probably would
would've
have hit.
hit.
Yeah.
But you have a fancy
Maybe
robe
he
on
should get the
now.
necklace.
I know I have a fancy robe on, but
That's true.
I don't think I can wear anything that provides AC, right?
I gotta get organized.
You could maybe wear my necklace.
You have
Using
to
the ethereal
attune to it,
plane.
though.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Do you have to attune to something even to get the AC benefit?
If they know, yeah. So generally, you have to attune to any magic items, and
If it's if the magic provides the AC, but if you were to like put on just an armor plate,
if you were to put on like a shield or something, you would get the AC benefit. But if it's a magic item, if it's the magic items properties that are giving you the bonus, you
Got
have
it.
to.
Okay, cool.
So you take
3,000.
What
You
happens
take-
when I die in the ethereal?
Do you still go to
Die,
heaven?
you die for real.
So you take 12 points of burning damage from this kind of cord of fire that wraps around you, but it doesn't seem it damages its real purpose. It's starting to kind of bind, and that and this kind of cord of water is starting to bind and encircle you, and you feel. You feel one of the cords start pressing into your temples, each of the different colors, and then you immediately start hearing kind of like these whispering sounds. And you're gonna have to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
We'll feel those.
Can I also absorb elements as a reaction to that?
Yes, you can.
Great.
So
So that
you don't
means
have to
that
take-
I have resistance. Well, yeah, I have resistance to fire until the start of my next turn.
Yeah, that flies.
But I don't think it applies to that initial hit. And then my next melee attack would deal 1d6 of that type. Or yeah,
What's
I
your
see.
What's your AC
12,
and what's your dex bonus?
2.
Okay.
Okay, wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Didn't get
Nope.
it.
Okay.
5.
So you get what's a nice little token for you here?
Oh god.
Do you mind controlled or something?
So you get one.
Sanity counter.
One of these. And you feel these voices start to go very loud in your mind, and somehow you want to listen to them. So, that's one of his turns.
It's only been a minute in the ethereal plane.
It's been, so remember, he's been there for about, I would say, 50 or so seconds. So this is probably in 6 seconds per action, right? Per round of action. So
2 rounds,
He's
and I
probably
will
got 2
naturally
rounds.
come out of it.
you got 2 rounds, and you're actually going to come out probably. So he's going to make another attack on you. But this is going to be just kind of a spear of just fire and water will both kind of coalesce around him and rocket towards you. And that will be, does a 14 hit.
No, it is not.
Does not. So then you, using your ethereal jukes, just these kind of things fly past. Now it is on you.
Okay. I'm going to see that this has gotten dangerous, and despite my very apparent vitriol towards our dear hypochondriacs over here, I realize he's my best bet of getting out of this place.
Yeah.
In the time being.
It's reasonable. It's a
I'm,
reasonable assumption.
I'm going to cast Mage Armor on him. So it says you touch a willing target who isn't wearing armor, and a protective magical force surrounds it until the spell ends. The target's base AC becomes 13 plus its Dex modifier. The
Nice.
spell ends if you put armor on, so that your AC should be 15 for the next 8 hours.
Awesome.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
So you cast mage armor and you
Thank you.
armored a mage. So now, That's an action.
That's my action.
Okay. So then you all just are back in the mortal plane, and you just I think you have come forward to this room, right? So you see the dagger is in this in this apparatus.
We can
that's
see
trapped.
the old man in the next room as well, right? We're still
You
in
just see
Hellman's.
him, but he's just
Does
quietly
he?
reposing.
Do we get the sense that we could like move him or touch him in this state and he wouldn't notice? Like, is he that
roll
not
me
that out?
roll me. I think this would be either Arcana or Investigation.
Can I choose?
Sure. Well,
I'll do it.
this is not an easy fight, so we'll throw some bones.
Does one of you also want an Arcana check, or do I? Or do I get
I-
Someone can
Sure,
assist.
I will.
I can just
Someone
do
can
it
give an
just-
assist,
Oh,
and that would give her
okay.
advantage.
Yeah, he probably is.
All right.
I'm
I don't
not
get
known
a
for my
turns.
lore.
So how's an 8 work for you?
Yes, you do. Let me actually get you guys to roll initiative. I
Alright.
totally forgot.
I got an 18 for Arcana
18 for Arcana.
with advantage from him.
Okay, so you sense that in this plane he's going to be relatively kind of not there. Like, so you can probably even push him and he wouldn't really realize what's happening.
All right, I want to go and like try and push him into the dagger box and trip the trap.
Ooh, that's a pretty good idea.
Okay.
Mm.
All
Oh,
right.
that whiskey is so good.
It is
Right?
pretty good.
It's amazing. Low gap. It's the best.
That's real good.
Drove us
Low
to
gap.
Berkeley to the only store that sells it, and he bought like $120 worth of it.
Yeah, it's not cheap. It's like 60
Well, yeah,
bucks a
yeah,
bottle,
but you
yeah.
Oh,
you
that's
love
not bad
it,
bad
and
for
yeah,
whiskey.
yeah.
Like a
he
good
works.
whiskey, yeah.
Yeah.
He like, found the only place that sells it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Well, I know you guys will all buy my book when it comes out, so it's
Right.
expected.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if you don't read.
You don't know how to read.
You don't know how to read. Read illiterate, doesn't matter. Anyways, but okay, so you two roll me initiative.
8.
8.
8.
Better than 8. 20.
Glad we put it into perspective there.
Better than 8.
Better than hypochondriacs.
I mean, I'm not saying Hypochondrius had poor initiative. I'm just saying that his initiative was less than half of mine. So
It's not embarrassing. I mean, maybe it is embarrassing. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Okay, so you walk forward, and I want you to give me a athletics check to make sure that your push into this trapped thing changes.
So, but
No.
why? Okay.
Yeah.
Do we suspect that he's evil?
I mean, I feel like she's neutral, so to some degree, just like shoving someone into a trap that you would rather not spring on yourself. I feel like that's sort of a neutral thing to
While
do.
we're
Okay.
trespassing.
Yeah.
While we're
Yeah, while we're
trespassing.
seeing is just like bloop. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, we can discuss that.
I think
I feel like
it's
that's on the fence in terms of
Unless it's a lethal trap.
yeah.
I don't know that it's lethal. I don't think it's lethal.
Yeah,
I
it's
genuinely
just,
don't
you
think
know,
it's lethal.
Hey, like blow the guy up. You know, who cares? You know.
you know, if you're dumb enough to put traps inside of your hall and you accidentally trip them, that's not my problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a big glass case.
Studies
Easily
show
fall
that
into
having
it.
traps inside your home actually increases the risk of trap damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it.
It's not a
Alright.
show.
I got a 15 for athletics.
I got 2.
Nice.
So you shove this old gentleman
Frail
towards
old
this
man.
towards this kind of box. He stumbles forward, kind of wakes up, and you two see his like ethereal form stumble into what looks like a kind of a version of that box made out of mist, and in both planes, a kind of bright flash of light erupts. So you see an ethereal trap that goes off, and he's going to take. He's going to take 9 points of spirit damage, I guess is whatever they call ethereal damage.
Seems like that was a good decision.
And then in this world, you see an enormous gout of flame burst up from the from almost it seems to be fueled from the dagger's ruby itself, and a kind of spiral of flame rings out. But strangely enough, that flame widens out and then funnels towards the old man, leaving him unburnt. and it heals him for
What?
11 damage. So he's back to full health.
Wait, so he took damage in the ethereal plane world and then
Yeah.
healed in the real world?
Yes.
Oh.
So but both sources were fire damage, as far as we could tell.
No, the one was like ethereal damage or whatever.
Got it.
I want to cast Dispel Magic on the case and dagger.
Okay.
So,
On the dagger
just doing the dagger?
and dagger.
Yeah, I'm doing on the dagger.
Maybe, I don't know.
So, any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spell casting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
So give me a check for the dagger. Give me a roll on that.
Do you think we could
For- with
accidentally like demagic the
Because
dagger?
what was the second bit? I'm sorry, but I gotta push this whiskey away. Or else
Oh,
I'm
maybe
gonna-
that. Remember when we
Maybe
demagic
don't wanna
Paddington by
demagic
accident?
it.
Well, but there's
We didn't.
the demon made no
We did, by
stipulation.
dispelling magic.
The demon made no stipulation about
That's true. That's true.
the state we need to give him the dagger in.
That's true. He
That
just
is
made a
very
bargain
true.
for the dagger. He didn't make a bargain for the dagger and all of its properties.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
He
Okay.
should have been more. Turned it around on him, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. For each
Whoa.
spell
Are we
of
the
4th
demons?
level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. Which
Okay.
is wisdom for me.
All right. So give me 2 wisdom checks for the dagger.
Okay. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. What? What does that mean?
So if there's a spell
So-
on
If you're
it,
a
it will
level
have
2,
like the spell that whatever's on the dagger will be like a level 5 spell, and so the DC to
Oh.
dispel it is 10 plus 5.
Okay.
So he knows what those spell levels are, or if he doesn't, he'll make them up, and then you'll do it and see if you actually dispel those things.
Cool. So it's just straight wisdom then?
Your wisdom.
Which is plus 4?
That's right.
Okay. 23.
Okay.
Nice.
I imagine that would probably dispel.
18.
Okay. So you see some of the fire that's kind of wreathing around the dagger that suddenly goes out, and but the dagger itself kind of still has a strange kind of ethereal glow, I would say. So yeah. So immediately the fire disappears. You all suddenly see an old man shake himself, and it's now that you see that he kind of comes back into this plane and looks around and says, did someone push me?
Oh no, you tripped. You tripped.
And
It was so tragic.
I don't see you as part of the royal family.
We're visitors, guests.
Deception.
At what point do I...
So now in your plane, you see the very concrete figure of the old man kind of fade a little bit out of focus, and you guys are still, you can still attack, but it's kind of like this kind of more nebulous human form of fire and water that's kind of spiraling.
But it is a valid target.
Yep, it's valid target.
Where are we in initiative right now?
It's on you, or actually, it's on you because you haven't gone yet.
Okay.
So go ahead.
I don't know if this comes into play at all, but...
Go ahead and make your move.
Okay. So is this like a don't risk a super good spell for it kind of move? Or? I'm gonna risk it.
No.
I'm gonna risk it.
Right.
I want to cast Elemental Bane on him.
Okay.
What that?
I choose fire. If he must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be affected by this for 1 minute. Every turn that he takes fire damage, he takes an extra 2d6 of fire damage, and he loses all resistance to that damage type.
Loses all resistance to that damage type.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Unless he beats this throw.
All right. What's my saving throw?
Constitution 14.
13.
Wow.
Lucky man.
Wow. All right.
So suddenly, in this real world, you see him, like, kind of the flames that are still kind of soaking into his skin And you don't know that any of this is happening. You just see those flames that were like once soaking his skin suddenly just stop and start catching his robe on fire. And he says, "Oh my."
Let me help you.
And then does that do any damage, or is it just a status effect?
It is a status effect for 1 minute, and he doesn't like continue. I don't think that he continues to make the check. It says they must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be affected by the spell for its duration. So that's his only saving throw. Every time somebody hits him with fire damage, he takes an additional 2d6 on top of that of fire damage.
Okay.
But no damage inherent in that.
Gotcha. Okay. So now.
So you had me make a deception check.
Yeah, you're making a deception check.
I got a 14, and I would like to point to my my barmaid outfit and say, as you can see, I am but a simple tavern wench. They hired me to do some catering here in the palace.
Very nice.
The fact that I'm in one of the gowns, does that help me at all?
You have advantage on deception, so you, seems like the rest of you.
Oh, yes. I'm visiting from out of town, and I stumbled upon this bar wench.
I was looking for the bar. I don't know where to set up. So she was helping me find the right place, find my way.
And you see him nod, and he turns back to the door and makes kind of a waving motion, and turns back and says, "Yes."
Should I roll deception?
Of course.
I didn't deceive
That
you.
doesn't seem like a good sign.
14, I get an advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 14.
Okay. So he says, "You're one of the nobles here, is that so?" Quite tall for a dwarf, I see.
Oh, I have some orc in me if you can't tell.
Ah, one of the half-breeds. And he looks... you stayed hidden, I think. Or did you shove him? No.
No,
I shoved him.
I guess
He
I
can
never
rake
came
shove
out.
You
Well, yeah.
You didn't stay in the
What was
closet.
that?
Yeah, he cast a spell.
Magic. He did the dispel magic, so he had to have been pretty
He
close.
did dispel magic, but he only has to be, I think, 60 feet. So he could still be in
It's
this
120-foot range.
Oh, yeah, 120 feet, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I stayed hidden. I had a good line ready. I've been like, 2 chicks, me, you get it. But no, I stayed hidden. In the closet.
Yeah, in the closet. It's okay. We understand.
Yeah.
So he says, I wonder where our dear friend the king has gone. I'm desperately looking for him. You see, I need to relieve him of some of his property, as you see. Seems like you all are doing the same thing.
Hardly.
Let's team up with these guys. Except for I'm not there.
Now, what is somebody like you doing in the palace, trying to thieve from my family?
I'm trying to destroy life. And you see two, a water elemental and a fire elemental walk into the room.
I'm suddenly not so against this guy. Me and him, I feel like we can find some common ground.
Yeah.
Have I now shifted? I don't know how much time has passed, but I had 10 seconds-ish left last we checked.
So you got about 5 or 6 seconds. I'm just kind of like passing it at a different time.
Okay.
You maybe got like 5 or 6 seconds left in this plane. So one more round.
Are we rolling initiative?
He's shown up with... You can if you want to start fighting him.
Oh, well, I mean, didn't he just, like, whip out fire elementals?
They just came and joined him at his side.
Hello! Hi. Can I just ask you really quick, who in Tarnation are you?
I'm one of Silas's great acolytes.
Oh, Silas! Yes, an old friend.
Good dude.
Yes, love him.
That's Silas.
That's
We've
good
had
people.
some really, really solid
Good country
times.
folk.
Indeed. I certainly believe so. He is the great wise one.
You should ask him what happened to his friend. What's his name? Louis Vuitton?
Ah,
Oh, that's right. We murdered him.
Oh,
You're
shit.
just gonna throw it out there like that?
What?
Where's the bar? I'm still looking for that bar.
All the more power for me. I may give you my thanks in terms of a speedy death. And go ahead and roll initiative. All of y'all can roll.
Fucking big time in your mouth over there.
How did this happen? How could we have seen
14.
this coming?
We didn't even let her drink this time. I don't know.
I know, it's not anything. It's not even...
What does
14?
it mean? Yeah, what does it mean that I'm still hidden?
You'll have
So you're not
a
in
bonus on your first attack if you're coming out of it. You'll have advantage, and you can't either do other things.
I got 17.
You get your bonus when you come. When you finally come out of the closet, we give you a bonus.
I got 17.
Okay, so 14.
17.
7.
Man, you and Hypochondrius.
I had 8, which
You
is
both
higher,
must
by the
have
way.
stomped on a burial
Wait,
ground or
still
something.
Paddington, though.
Oh, Paddington!
Is Paddington with us?
And Paddington is with you.
Is he in the
So
closet?
he's rolling
Paddington's a
initiative.
homer, man. He's always there.
Yeah.
He's 8.
I thought
He's
about
strong
making
but
Paddington
silent.
trip the trap, but I didn't want to.
Making him what?
No, that's
There
a
you
good,
go.
that's a good use
He
for
did that.
Paddington.
He did that for the last trap.
Yeah, we already pushed him through the fire gate. So.
Yeah.
Well, he has resistance because he's made of stone. That's strong. That's strong. I would be okay with that.
Right. Okay, so it is on. I'll let you, I think it's on you because Twitchley Switch. Or actually, it's on Twitchley Switch. Yes, because he's the top of the order. So you're in the ethereal plane. You kind of see this more disembodied form of fire and water. That's and you still see the dagger. So like all the stuff that's crafted in this middle is showing up in pretty sharp color now. And then the trophy case, you kind of see some of that color where that trap seemed to have been, but then other than that,
So I'm gonna run up to the form of this dude. Is he how far away is he from me? Like, is he close enough for me to get to?
he is maybe 5-10 feet away. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
easy.
So I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna pull my daggers out. I'm gonna take a swipe with one hand and a swipe with the other hand.
All right, so 2 dagger attacks. Go ahead and roll me attack.
All right. So. 19.
That'll hit.
And then the offhand is a 21.
That will also hit. Actually, that won't miss.
Alright. But these are my daggers, so they don't do quite as much. But I get sneak attack.
Yeah, and in this form, you're going to get surprise attacks on it because it's not really embodied right now.
So what do I get for surprise attacks?
That will be whatever. I thought you said you had sneak attack bonus, right?
I get, oh, so it's just an automatic sneak attack?
Yeah, it's just automatic.
Alright, so 3, 12, 15, 16 for the first attack, and then plus 2 more. So 18 total.
All right. So as you take a swipe at this disembodied kind of water and fire thing, you see that some of the elemental materials kind of peel off with your sword and vanish, but it doesn't seem to have as much oomph as you probably would have liked.
What do we see in the real plane?
So you see him go, my. That's it.
Does he seem to be healing or no?
He's at full life, so you can't really tell.
Can't tell. Okay.
This salty son of a bitch.
So that was
Bill Johnson.
how much did you
That's
do? It
fine.
was 18. You said okay, that's right. So we're at. All right. So now it is on. Our kindly barbarian Featherwidget Perkinips.
So I gasp and just. Sorry guys. But then I go into a rage, and then whip out my great axe and
Open it out.
just whip it out.
Looking good in the gown. The
Rage gown.
rage gown.
Rage in the nightgown.
It's a 13. Probably doesn't hit. But I get a second attack, so I'll try and use that. That's even no. That's a 15.
15.
Yeah. Is that it? No. Okay. I'm done.
Perky nips look great though.
Thank
in
you.
The nightgown.
Thank you. Yes.
But she looks good doing it. Now it is on Wexley.
Okay.
Wexley Wex. I may get a glass of water because I'm lightweight.
It's a really weird way to say bourbon.
Yeah. Yes. I thought bourbon was not pronounced water.
Must be the European spell.
Yeah, it's the Euro. It's Euro.
So for my action, I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame. So you need to make a Dex 15 saving throw.
So I make a dex saving?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think anybody needs healings, right?
No.
Warrior needs.
Wait, is it just him, or are we also fighting his elementals?
You have an elementals beside him.
There's
One
Water and
and
fire.
one fire.
And they're just hanging out. They're not violent. They're kind of pacifist.
Non-violent elementals, guys and gals.
Really just here's witnesses.
They just like to exist. You know, nothing wrong with that.
Chilling.
Chill. Sometimes you gotta chill. That's what life's about.
Okay, I'm gonna cast it on him then.
Okay.
So Dex 15.
And that's 15. Okay. A 1.
Oh. Wait, does that mean it?
One.
Does that do anything different?
I don't know. I don't think so. Unless your spell says so.
No, it doesn't.
You're
Maybe
full
we'll,
of
maybe we'll say you
references
went you in the shot.
Because you guys
That's
can use
2d8 damage. That's a 1.
Is
That's
that a
a
nat
2.
one or a one with a bonus?
No.
So you take 3 points of radiant damage.
Fuck them up, Wexley.
Wow.
So
really digging
Wexley,
deep with that one.
so you see kind of the old man shift forward. You see his guard drop. Wesley pops around the corner, and a little ray of light.
Okay.
At least you
It's
hit
kind
him.
of you see some
Feels
of the
like a-
I
skin
hit
kind
air.
of blister. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
It's like
Some of his
Shining a
skin
flashlight
kind
in
of
his eyes,
blisters. You see, definitely blister his skin.
And then for my bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
So this is a d20 plus 7.
Whoa.
Critical fail.
No.
Can you just be better?
Why'd
have
you
you
roll so
have
bad?
you considered rolling higher?
It's tougher than it
What is
sounds,
it?
guys.
So it doesn't hit, but the weapon sticks around for a minute, so I can
Nice.
continue to.
Did you guys play God of War?
A little bit.
I just love the don't be sorry, be better.
Yeah.
That's what I want for you, Adam.
Thank you. I kind of limp back towards the closet.
Back in the closet.
Find
Get back in the
protection back in your
closet.
closet.
Stay right here.
It's heroin rejected me. So the water elemental reaches forward towards the barbarian that is very close, and its hands close around your head, and it forms a bubble. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, or it's gonna try to. So, does a 15 hit?
No.
All right. So then its hands pass through. Water splashes everywhere, and it kind of rocks back. The old man, on the other hand, you see him hold one hand, like kind of in the center, and the other hand he grabs he stretches out his hand in a bar of just, it looks like almost just kind of embers from a fire seems to like form in his hand into kind of this like hard bar, and then he takes a swing at the nearest person. I think that is still you. So does a 20 hit?
No, bro. Yeah. It's
All right. You never know. Some people have high
With
seas
the
now.
barbarian, that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's
That's what I'm
question.
checking. That's what I'm checking. So a bar kind of composed of flame. 2, 6. So you take 20, or sorry, 10 points of bludgeoning damage and 10 points of fire damage.
Okay.
The
So
bludgeoning
15
should be in
points of
half
damage,
damage.
yeah.
Good blood.
Yeah.
Everything's in half or just bludgeoning?
Just bludgeoning, piercing,
Okay.
and slashing.
So you're going to take 15 net. Yeah, okay, that's that. And then suddenly you see that if that form coalesce into a fully embodied person. You can only see like one arm seems limp at his side in your ethereal plane, but the other, you see this bar of what looks like pure water form. And with that, he takes a swing at I'm gonna say you're still pretty close.
Even if I'm on ethereal plane.
I think he just came
because you're still on the because he's both.
He's in the ethereal
He's
plane
in
right now.
half of him is in the ethereal. One hand is in the ethereal plane. Others in the
Cool.
cool.
So
How do we get
So
to do
yeah,
that?
so just to simplify, I was like, so then he has this kind of bar of water that kind of solidifies and kind of turns into ice and gets.
But you thirsty, so it's okay.
Says, "Are you thirsty, my dear friend?" And then a kind of a steel, like a rod of very hard ice, swings at you, and does a 13 hit.
No. Thank you,
Nice.
Chase.
It was 12 before, right?
Yeah.
My AC is normally 12. I have 15 now, though.
So then you say, "See you later," and you just fade out to the real world.
Where I'm like on
Leaving
fire
Twitchly
and
Switch
in a dress.
dealing with a sticky situation.
I just as I'm feeling, gotta go.
And I'm just saying, you son of a bitch.
Thanks for
That's-
the armor.
That's twice.
Because I have no idea how this whole Blink ethereal plane shit works. Now all I know is that your ass can transport back and forth, and you left me here. That's all I know.
I lost the vote again.
And, you know, I can end that spell whenever I feel like.
Ooh, no. Don't.
I wait until the split second right before it's about to smack, and I'm like,
No.
nah, fuck that.
Come back. Let's come back. Give me that defense back. Okay, now it is on Paddington.
What a G.
So Paddington
Come through in the clutch.
will run
Paddington.
forward
6
and
foot
He's number
3
one.
was a fucking
run forward and take a huge bite with his stone mouth at the old man's arm. And he is going to do. Unfortunately, he's only going to hit for 14, I think, and he's going to
I
miss.
should have axed this guy in the balls, you guys.
You should have.
Hey,
You have one job. One job.
Axe the guy in
Everybody
the
talked
ball.
me out of it.
Rage.
Everybody called me evil.
Chop balls
you
off.
do it.
That's all you gotta
Y'all stopped
It's
me.
like,
That was my plan.
It's like South Park. You don't shoot a guy in the
do.
nuts.
Yeah, you don't shoot a guy in the nuts.
Don't shoot him in the nuts.
That's such a
I'm
good
a
episode.
Agreed. Next time we see a frail old innocent man,
You.
Yeah.
instantly
Axe
ask
Immediately go for the balls.
That one will play for your character because you fool me once, shame on you.
Because
Fool
let's
me
face it,
twice.
I think it's only. But
I didn't trust him.
no judge.
sorry to the next old man we come
across.
across.
Man, let's be real.
Yeah.
Only
It's
for
like,
in a
Last time,
That's
one of
actually
these
the-
guys turned out to be trouble.
I'm not going to be taken in again.
No.
No
only
bamboozle.
if we're in a,
No
only if we're in a
bamboozles.
place where there's a risk of danger.
Okay, that's respectable.
There's always a risk.
I mean, maybe I'll give you a fate point to.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now it is on. So Paddington unfortunately missed. Paddington.
I thought he hit for 14. No.
No,
He rolled it.
He rolled a
Oh,
14.
Oh, I thought he was hitting for 14.
No, Paddington hits for 200 or more, please.
Mm-hmm.
So now it is on Hypochondrius.
Okay. I'm going to cast 3rd level Fireball, which adds. Is the pizza here?
It's my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, Dad, I'll call you later. They've been
Take
having
it?
me
No.
help them with Excel.
Text him back and say, "You're not my real dad," and then never pick up the phone again.
I don't want to talk to Steve. Alright. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to cast a 3rd level Fireball, which
Okay.
is 8d6 plus 2d6 for the Elemental Bane, so 10d6.
Alright.
Oh, wait, Elemental Plane gives you extra?
No, the Elemental Bane that I
Elemental
cast
Bane.
Yeah.
last
Yeah,
time.
good thing, yeah.
So 10d6. He has to
Nice.
save against a Dex 14.
10
takes half for
d6.
10d6. He takes.
Do I call this some Bane?
Well, he cast Elemental Bane.
Oh, wow. I got a
okay.
6
Get
on
in there.
Dex, so roll damage.
You
Okay.
failed.
I failed bad.
Oh, man.
Alright, here we go.
I'm rolling bad today. You all are very lucky. This has been a very hard fight.
Can somebody
I'm rolling
count
pretty
to
bad
10
too.
1,
here? Okay.
2.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm gonna
So
use
it's 1.
Well, you guys, someone may want
20.
if they can get to the
Oh, fuck,
ethereal
no, hold on,
plane,
wait.
'cause he's going to be one.
Start that over. D6. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's right. I was like, man, this is
I'm
already
like the
really
Rock.
good. It's fucking
Told
incredible.
you, the great.
So he has a skill that lets him
3.
get to the ethereal plane.
Hey, remember that time
7.
all I had to do was take me with him and he didn't? Yeah, me too.
13,
On his way out.
16,
Please.
18,
I'm gonna make
19,
I'm just gonna make some shit.
20, 26, 27.
Last one.
What?
That's your last one.
28. 28 fire damage.
Woo!
And you realize your elemental bane didn't take it.
The words of Moon.
God damn it.
Oof. Oof. Alright. So you see him. He initially reaches toward the fire as if it's something that would respond to his commands. And he extends his hand towards the fireball, but suddenly it goes back over him and you see kind of this scalding ripple up his arm.
What?
He says, a mage. And then now it is on.
Sorry, I also didn't read it right. Every creature must make a saving throw in a 20-foot radius.
Oh yeah, you're fucking in the room with this is a fireball.
But
you have the craft a spell, right?
Because of School of Evocation.
Right.
I just want to see how many people can save against it. Who automatically
it's
succeeds.
4, I believe, for
Because
you.
it was a third level.
Because that was what it was last time.
So
you guys are all. I'm gonna go ahead and get some extra dice.
Four allies within range
that's
won't
the
take
guy.
any
That's the
damage of my choice.
So you blow the room up except for the very particular.
I gotta get some little figurines. I gotta get some figurines.
I can bring the ones that we have 3
Yeah, that's perfect. That's
for other
fancy.
campaign that I'm not sure if Jeff's told
coming
you,
back.
Once we get through the story arc of this, we might pick up the other campaign
Really?
that I was DMing.
Steampunk one
really?
later.
My steampunk one,
So
yeah.
good.
So I hear we might have some
So good.
steampunk fans. So
Is there anybody else in the group?
It was us and
us.
Mikhail.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
Same
for that campaign, we modeled out our characters, and there's a company that does 3D printing for D&D miniatures, and so we have 5 or 6 of little miniatures that were designed after our characters.
And Chase is way more detail oriented and thorough than I am, so there's.
I draw lots. I draw lots of full scale maps.
Yeah,
for
which
things.
is awesome.
So
Unfortunately, my character in that game is even dumber. So
yeah, your character's pretty dumb.
It's method acting.
this is my smart character. So.
But I'm sure we have a few more sessions before we get there. But when we do, I'll do a full recap of the
Just
story.
your
We
character-
got I don't know what,
No,
probably
I
10
don't.
sessions in, and then
Sariel.
You ready to
Well, her name
ready
is
to run into
Sariel,
some random
but
strangers in a
she's
tavern
just
that want to
her
join
name
you?
is
you guys are at the
She's
top of a
like,
halfway
I'm
dying
sorry.
giant world
I'm
tree
sorry.
at the
Yeah.
moment, so you
What?
guys can
Sorry.
be there as
I'm
well.
Is there a tavern?
Yeah, it's actually
She
called
has
the
a Jewish
Wilting
accent,
Leaf.
like the
Not,
Jewish, like,
it doesn't get very many travelers, but when it does, they put on a good show.
Yeah.
So you're at
It's like the
Teldrassil.
bar tour.
You're at Teldrassil.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's
Too soon?
Well, the thing is, it's part of this forest where there's a big dragon lore. There's a
Isn't
whole
that
bunch of stuff to
whiskey?
go into. Anyway,
It's a really good whiskey.
Yeah, it's so good.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Anyway.
I'm toasted, so.
All right, so
So
who
for-
needs to save?
4 allies automatically succeed and don't take
you
any
guys
Okay.
should all be
Yeah.
safe.
We're all fine.
You're all
there's
fine.
only
We're good.
4 of us total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're all fine.
Oh, and you're on a different plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that. I
All right,
totally
so,
wouldn't have had
so
you
I
take
just
the
want to
damage.
confirm a little bit of the ordering here. So I think
No, I actually
our dear friend
damage.
is still in the closet.
No, he came out.
He came
But-
just
and then
Yeah, and then I
he
started
sidled his way
towards
back
the
into the
closet.
closet.
started
Yeah,
moving
went
back
back
to his
in.
place. He was like,
Yeah.
it was warmer in there. It was cozy. Okay, so
Gave him a
then,
little pimple and he went back in.
Feather Widget is right up next to him. Hypochondrius has come down pretty close because you were in melee range in the ethereal plane, so you're in melee range here.
By the way, the elementals need to make a deck save or take.
Oh, they will
20
take the damage,
or-
except for the fire elemental, which will absorb the damage.
Okay, so the water elemental.
Yes, we'll take bonus
Wait,
Okay.
why bonus?
because
Because
it's the
fire
antithesis.
versus water?
It's water, fire.
Doesn't
versus
water put out fire?
It's not Pokemon.
Oh, okay. Just saying. There's some logic here.
I was being facetious.
That was so condescending.
Okay, I was being a brat during the raid last night.
No, I'm with you. It is much more sensible that fire wins against water.
But I'm okay with it.
I agree.
I'm okay with it. This is
I'm trying to. I'm helping you out.
Can we also agree that fucking leaf shouldn't beat water? Because that doesn't make any sense.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. But
Yeah.
does fairy beat steel?
I mean,
Discuss.
clearly
Yeah,
fairy
just-
beats steel 100% of the time.
100%.
The Industrial Revolution really isn't a thing.
Fairy also beats dragon.
There's more of an industrial kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wait, or does dragon beat fairy?
Dragon beats fairy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Dragon wrecks shit in that game, man.
Fairy was the best. Though.
Dragonite?
Fairy is the
Whew,
best.
that dude
Nerfed
did
it in
work.
the later generations now.
You just caught us a
because
Dragonite.
there was nothing that could beat us. That's why they made like.
Everyone knows that your team had Mewtwo, Dragonite, and Gyarados, and your starter, every time
You
with
win,
red
yeah.
and blue, and then whatever 2 you happen to like along the way. But those 4 were like staples.
Yeah. Confirmed. But yes, so it is super effective.
Very good against dark.
It's super effective.
Yeah,
But
critical hit.
I've ever created, so
So then we're going to have the ethereal plane be over here.
that's a good plan.
And that's going to be, this is his ethereal version, and that is going to be, and you're actually a little ways away, because you've been, actually you're in melee range, sorry. So
Oh yeah, I'm running.
because you did the
boss
dagger
right.
attack,
Yeah.
that's right.
Which
Okay.
is still there, by the way.
Intact. Intact.
For now.
For now.
I mean, me and Feather Widget we're not too far apart on this the spectrum here.
I feel like there's a connection across
It's
the
one thing we
planes.
actually agree on.
It's one of the few things.
It's the one thing we
one ball in
actually
the
agree
real
on.
world, one ball in the ethereal
An
plane.
effective way is to cut off the testosterone supply. I mean,
Yeah,
aggression
that'll
goes
stop
down.
everybody. That'll stop everybody from fighting.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point anymore?
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm just gonna go. The balcony's over there. You know.
guess I'll just do it for you.
All right. Well. Okay. So it is on. So the fire. The water elemental took bonus damage. And that was the same, right? So he needs to roll resistance, which he also, because it was a saving throw? 14? Yes. And I think it was
14 for your
28.
14, yeah.
So it was 28. It was 28 damage, right? Okay, so you see the water elemental is kind of struggling to hold itself together.
Wait, like what?
Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
Oh, there. It's like the Myrtle.
It's like the Murlocs.
Oh.
All right. This is water and there's fire. Okay. So it failed on its smothering attack on you. So then now it is on.
The cow?
P-Kill Rick. That is right.
Nice. Bonus action. Hunter's mark that bitch.
Getting serious.
And longbow shot at that bitch being the old
Yeah,
one.
the old man.
We had
Longbow
to-
shot at him.
But aim for the balls.
Yeah.
Aim
We
right for the
clearly
nutsack.
only shoot for nutsacks.
Right for the nutsack.
It's all you did with move. Prevents distraction.
It's your soul.
Little do they know.
Yeah,
Taking half damage for everything that aims the ball.
Yeah, little do they know. Unix.
You know what? Maybe I'll aim for the butthole.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
More
It's
centralized
a
target.
consolation prize.
Sometimes you gotta aim for the ball.
That's right.
All right, will a 21 hit?
A 21 will hit.
Nice. Okay, so 1d8 plus 3,
In the closet.
1d6 for the hunter's mark, and
Yes.
then another 1d. Has he taken any damage?
Yes. So Colossus Slayer is good.
So Colossus Slayer is another 1d8, I believe.
All right. Roll a bunch of dice.
Dude,
Murder him.
Hit like a brick.
over here.
And Morty! Don't let me forget Morty.
Yeah.
That's right. I'll write that down. And Morty.
Richard,
Everyone and their pets.
Richard and Mortimer.
Yeah. I
They've
want
got an adopted pet. You know, Paddington.
Paddington,
Yeah.
I'm kind of a pet, I guess.
Yeah. You're Wexley's pet.
Yeah.
Alright, so that
I'm gonna
is
summon a mage.
14
His
points of
charity
damage for
is-
me.
It's part of his like
Civil,
his yeah
civil duty. Yeah.
civic duty. Yes. I guess I should be nice.
There's
That's what
community service from this thing that happened.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Alright, 14 points of damage for me.
Okay. 14.
And then young Morticia.
Tisha. Ooh.
Oh yeah, we decided because I'm Pical.
Ah.
Female Rick, it should be a female Morty. It should
That
be
makes
Morticia.
sense.
Yeah. Okay, so plus 4 to hit.
Okay.
Will a 10 hit?
That will not.
Alright, so Morticia is
So close.
overeager.
Yeah.
What type of animal is Morticia?
Wolf.
And you can change the animal down the road so that it'll have more efficacy because these battles might not. They'll
Okay.
start getting harder for you.
And yeah, I think you can like get like.
And you can
higher level
also-
animals as you level
As I
up.
level
One
up. I don't think we'll change
recommendation
levels.
Question is, do you
Is-
have a bloodlust pet? That's what we really need.
A what?
Nerd. Wow,
That's wow. Yeah.
Uh,
One caveat will be that a thoughtful thing might be to have the Morticia attack the elemental stuff that won't be as strong as like the main thing.
No, the thing is,
Just
we need
because
Morticia
he's got a
to
big
die
AC.
so that
I mean, that's pretty much what Paddington
Just
is,
food for
too.
thought. Food for thought.
All right.
Anyways,
you know it's gonna be bad when you're giving us advice.
Translation: we've done like 5% of this guy's
Yeah.
If that. Maybe.
just food for thought.
In the future, if you don't want your animals to die, probably don't do that.
My question is this guy harder than or less?
So the fire
hard than
elemental
Silas?
rolls a crit miss on both of its
It's like,
attacks,
right?
as it takes 2 swipes towards
Mini boss.
Morticia, or sorry, towards Paddington. Both miss. Now it is on. I think our dear friend in the ethereal plane.
Ethereal praying.
Ethereal plane. It's a very fast plane. It flies over the station.
So we're gonna keep with our strat here and go for a couple of dagger swipes. The first one. Oh wait!
Jason, drunk.
I'm actually not. I just figured you had all your shit laid out here. I had no idea those were actually instances.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Now I'm kind of happy that happened. Though.
I was just laughing at your wonder.
I literally had no idea.
It's all good.
I think it's because these ones were over here. I was like, why were those over
So
here?
this is the ethereal plane. This is your
No, that's
ethereal
me.
plane. Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't
He's
matter.
like,
It
I
doesn't
just moved
matter.
myself.
Either way, the first one's 19
First one's
plus
19
7,
hits.
so
Here, I need to roll over here. I need
It's like,
second one's a
Papa is
16.
I was like, dang man, alpha, beta.
Beta boys.
16 will miss. First one will hit.
16 miss. Okay, so we're gonna do. So that's 1, 6, 12, 16, 17, 18 points of damage.
Okay, so miss daggers as well.
This is dead.
So you reach forward, and now that he's a little bit more solidified, you feel that your daggers actually have purchase a little bit more than in the last time when they kind of swept through the ethereal figure. So yeah, you do a clean 18.
That's what they call me.
Clean 18.
Clean 18.
So are you still in the? Are you in the ethereal plane or are you
I'm
back?
out.
He
He's
passed
back.
out without me.
He
So
abandoned
can
me.
anybody else? Because
Also, nobody knows he's
We
there
don't-
except me.
but we don't have.
yeah, it's true.
For all we, yeah,
You know
for
what?
all we
You
know,
just
I'm
went
on
and
guard.
You know what? I'm not even gonna mention it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I love how all you guys just like wandered off to some castle. Like, well, I guess Jason's fucked.
Well,
trying
Big
to
gulp.
help.
He had a good run, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
We
pour
wouldn't
one out
be
for
able to
him.
get back
Pour
to
one
it
out for our
without
old
you.
buddy.
I
What?
do have
We
to
wouldn't
say,
even
he
be able to
hit
get
those
there without you,
amulets
right?
for a while.
If we wanted to go to the ethereal plane.
No, I'm the only one who can go.
I took him with me, so
Sticky means lead to
I really
sticky
hope you didn't
ends.
need him to complete the story because they're never coming back.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay,
so my turn.
it is on you. It's on you.
Okay, I'm gonna try and roll this time and actually hit something.
Go,
Nah.
That's my
You can do this. You can do this.
That's
All right, baby. Number one. Great axe to, probably the guy because I don't think the other ones will take as much damage. All right, that's an 18.
That'll hit.
Okay. Do you want me to roll my other attack or do that?
Go ahead and roll damage. Or
Damage
go
first.
roll attacks first,
Okay.
and then we'll count damage.
That's a 17.
That'll miss.
Oh wow, AC 18.
So it's
huh?
exactly 18.
Okay. All right, let me
Yep.
roll my damage.
He's a nasty one.
Okay, it's 10 points of damage.
All right, nice. And
Pretty
it's
good.
slashing.
That's my
And he's in
weapon.
this plane, so does the full damage. He oh my goodness. All right.
Can
Now
I
it's
say
on.
something? Can I say something
Yes,
like a
yes,
little
yeah.
war cry about
Flavor text is
I
always
swear by my pretty bonnet, I will end you.
yes,
What is
and
that
you
from?
have your
Firefly.
beautiful dress, Firefly.
Oh,
Yeah. He's
Nothing. He's from nothing. He's original.
More
Very
life
original.
gone is always an advantage. And even if it's Maya for the cause. And
Good,
then
well, I'm glad you're
now-
going to be contributing.
now it's on Wexley.
Okay. So I'm gonna use my daily charge of Wand of Elemental Summoning.
Whoa.
You gave that to me. I don't actually
Yeah.
know what it does. I think it summons an elemental of some kind.
Yeah.
Do I get to pick? That would make sense, right?
right? Right?
Yeah,
I think you got that in the stone temple, right?
Uh-huh.
So it would be an earth elemental.
Cool.
I thought it was the one.
That's where I got the wand.
It wasn't the one that Luvitar dropped when after we chased him up to the thing.
That's right.
He summoned water elementals.
Water. Yeah, you're right. It was the one that Luvitar used. It's water.
Okay, so we do.
I got the
so
stone
we've got our
staff.
own little water
That's
elemental now.
Yeah.
Will the water elemental just go on my turn?
Yeah. So it'll just be. I'm just gonna for simplicity have you guys keep track of your various pets.
Okay.
So yes, water elemental appears beside you.
Cool. Should I roll for it, or is that next turn?
You will definitely want to roll its attack. You can roll. You can attack now.
Okay.
So we can go ahead and look up a.
Welly.
Wait. So did we decide water is good against fire or no?
Water is definitely good against fire.
Yeah.
Right?
It's good. No. They just both. Any opposite elements will have bonuses against the opposite. Usually. Okay. Yes. So you have a water elemental. I'm going to give yours 50 HP.
Wow, that's more than I have.
Casual 50 HP.
Well, that's what I'm giving my water elementals, because they're normally 100 something. So, and then you will have 2 slam attacks, plus 7 to hit, and then it's 2d8.
Oh, that's 2d8. Okay.
Get
slimed.
And plus 4. Sorry, 2d8 plus 4.
15.
That will miss.
Okay. So then for
You
my
can
bonus,
roll another attack because he has 2 slam attacks.
15.
That'll also miss. Is he attacking the old man or any of the other elementals?
Well, he was going after. I was going to send my water elemental after the fire elemental.
So 15 and 15 will hit.
Hey!
Nice!
And it's
Upgraded.
2d8 plus
Merciful DM. Upgrading merciful.
That's right. Don't you forget it.
4. Each of those is 2d8 plus 4?
Yeah, so you're going to do 48 plus 8.
1, 2, 7.
Yay!
6. 16 plus 8, right?
Yep.
24.
So, and you're attacking the fire
Fire
elemental.
elemental.
And I think the fire is still pretty full life, but this huge flood of water rushes down on it, and you see this enormous cloud of steam, and the fire elemental is kind of this like flickering flame now, just barely holding on.
Close.
And then
So
for my
it's-
bonus action, my spiritual weapon is still there attacking the guy.
Yes.
So that's, what the heck, 15.
Man, you gotta be attacking the elementals here.
I know, so that misses.
That one I won't
Okay.
give you a gimme
Yeah.
on, but okay, so that misses, and then now it is on the water elemental, the old man's water elemental, and it is going to flood over and rush towards Hypochondrius, and again, clap around its head,
Absorb those elements. No?
and does a 21 hit. So it's going to do those 2 slam attacks. 6, 12, 15.
Oh, Brody.
I can't give you gimmies because he's got one too now.
Don't you?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
gimme?
after this?
70,
He's
15,
gonna need
22, 30 points of bludgeoning damage.
Dead.
Unconscious?
Yeah.
Alright, so Hypochondrius collapses unconscious.
Get.
I did.
Even with the mage armor.
And then now it is up to the old man. So the old man looks at you and recognizes you from the ethereal plane. You are next to him. And he's going to take his rod of water, or his fire one, and stab it down into your corpse. And you lose a saving throw. And now it is on...
Dick.
Yeah, this guy sucks.
I told you guys I was just gonna axe him in the balls and this would have all been done. It's too late.
So
But
now
no, I
it
would've
is
been
his
evil.
ethereal weapon. So this ice staff swipes across, and you feel this cold cut across you. 11 plus does a 18 hit.
Does.
All right, and then that was Okay, so then you're going to take...
I'm so squishy.
Wait, hold on. Alright, hold on. Reset.
It's okay. We'll change things.
Math is hard when you've had a couple of whiskeys in that. You're going to take 10 points of ice or water damage and 10 points of bludgeoning damage. So...
False. I'm going to take 10 points of damage total.
Okay.
Because I'm going to use Uncanny Dodge. When an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to have the attack's damage against you.
Great. So you duck out of the way, but you still kind of get caught by some of this ice kind of bludgeon, and a few little shards of ice kind of cut into you, but you sustain most of the attack. Now it is on. Pikel Rikel. Or actually, it's on the fire element. Nope, no, it's not. It's on Hypochondrius.
I'll pop a Dave to chill his jets.
I don't know who this is. Hello, this is Jeff.
Who picks up calls from people they don't know?
Yeah.
People who are farming out their book to publishers.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I get like 5 spam calls a day.
Yeah, I've been getting a bunch recently and just putting them in my Google spam.
Oh, are you doing the call screening thing or no?
No, I'm not doing the call screening thing, but it'll let you mark any numbers as spam numbers that'll auto block calls from.
Okay. But they change it every time, so
I did Robo Killer for a bit, and it did block calls, but the thing that really fucking annoyed me about it is it got a couple wrong that were legit calls that it just flagged. And every time I would go into the app and I'd say, just when somebody calls like that, just send it straight to voicemail. Don't do anything fucking fancy. But it would always, every time there was an update, point it at one of their, here are these silly things you can do to mess with people. And it's it'll, do a fake end of your conversation or be get rid of your junk call and, yell at them or something like that. And the problem is that if you got a legit call from somebody... And then it did that. You seem like an asshole, so I just deleted it because I was I don't fucking.
You should use the Google call screening thing if you can, because that just it's an automated thing that says please state your name, and person will have to state their name, so and so is, and then it will
Is that for all calls? It would do that.
I don't know. I'm sure you can configure it. Maybe it's only calls that aren't in your contacts.
Yeah, because it was just I was going around and I was calling car dealerships and someone would call me back, but some people flag car dealerships as spam.
Yeah.
Someone would call me back and they'd be hi, left you a message but I got some weird response. It's I don't want that in my life.
Yeah.
Alright.
There are alternatives.
Yeah, I'm lucky my phone number is for some reason it's on my dad's area code because when I first got a phone. So it's 209, so all of the spam calls that I get are 209 area code.
209 as well.
They all do that.
So anytime I see a 209 number, I just don't pick up. Because I know what my dad's number is.
Yeah, right.
So I just don't.
Someone buy your book, Jeff?
Huh?
What was
Is that what that was? We assume
Someone bought my book, yeah. Good to go.
Cool.
Yeah, so now it is on
Paddington.
who is going to try to get between you and the old man and make an attack. But unfortunately, he's going to miss again.
You are useless.
It's okay, buddy.
So now it's on Pikel Rig.
Okay.
Do I take it?
Oh yeah, you got to actually make a death saving throw right now.
Already?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have to...
Roll big.
It's 20, right?
You just roll a d20.
No, I know,
What's
but how do you
above?
win?
10 or above.
10 or above, okay.
Natural 1.
Holy shit!
So that's another failed save.
So you're a 2 failed
Yeah,
save.
that's a failed save.
I think natural 1 has special rules.
No!
Folks,
Hypochondrius.
this might be it for...
Let's find out.
Yeah, I'm done.
I was about to heal you too.
Gonna take a gander. Is that a 2 failed saves?
I think it counts as 2 failed saves.
But you were only at 1, right?
Nope.
He's already...
Because the guy stabbed him and he had
him.
to take 1.
Oh.
Where's...
So if he takes 2 right now, he's dead. Perma-dead.
Dead.
Rolling a 1 or a 20. When you make a death saving throw and roll a 1 on the d20, it counts as 2 failures. If you roll a 20 on the
Hypochondrius
d20, you regain...
has died.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit.
I'm legitimately speechless. I'm crazy.
That's a really rough time to roll 1.
You sound it with freaking pain. You asshole.
1 in 20 chance that was gonna happen, though.
It's a rough time to roll 1.
5% chance.
So the light fades from Hypochondrius' eyes as he goes completely red.
Oh, Paddington. What's Paddington gonna do?
So now it is on the fire element, or it's on Pickle Rick.
Wait, what about Paddington?
Paddington made his move already.
Is he at least mourning?
He has another move. You'll see.
Okay, we gotta reroll your character after this.
Pack my thing.
You'll get an even better character.
I'm taking the whiskey.
I'm taking the whiskey. No one can stop me. Okay.
No,
Holy
you get a new
shit.
character. No, you get a new character.
We'll see.
have to
We'll
be
see what
someone
happens.
else.
We'll see
But
what
he
happens.
won't be me.
I know.
Okay, so now it's on Pickle Rick.
I'm stunned.
It doesn't get easier.
I'm just double checking that one. Yep, still a 1. It's still a
Maybe
1.
it's
I don't.
7 that you
You
misread.
get points for honesty.
No. Is I a valid? Because it looks, it could be a.
So actually, I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead. It's on Pickle Rick.
Well, I was gonna heal him, but he did.
Bit late for that.
I wiped the tears out of my eyes. And
Swig from your flask.
take a swig from
And
my
you see
flask.
Paddington is like looking down at his master's body, and he's like freaking out, like he doesn't know what to do. He's going crazy.
I pour one out for
Very sad.
Hypochondrius.
Pour one out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this poor guy
And-
fell out of the sky and ended up dead
Yeah.
because of us.
And I
No
say,
time to mourn.
And I'm sitting here like I'm gonna be stuck in this fucking ethereal plane.
Wait, we have no one that can come and get you now.
right, and I
As I pass, as my spirit passes, do I travel briefly through the ethereal plane? So my ghost goes by, just float away.
Suck it.
Salty son of a bitch.
Bastard.
all right, and I draw my bow and I say, I aim for the butthole from Hypochondrius.
Hypochondrius.
Hypochondrius. Oh nope, I don't think that'll hit.
Yeah. 8? No, that's not gonna hit.
At least definitely
Alright, so
not where
now
you
it
aim.
is on the fire elemental, which will attack Piquel.
Oh wait. I
No.
think
Sorry.
I think Morticia still gets a turn.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Morticia
yeah.
still does get a turn.
Yeah.
So that fire elemental is looking really rough. Morticia's looking to attack something.
She is going for the fire elemental. For 13, will that hit?
A 13 will hit.
Nice. Okay, so I can do 2d4 plus 2 or a 7 flat. Do we feel like gambling? No, I don't want to gamble. I don't want to
100%
gamble.
gamble.
No, you think fire
100%.
elemental's almost
You
dead.
could be doing 10.
4 plus 3, those are like the higher end of that, so I feel like.
No, 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah,
plus
it's 10
2.
damage right there. I have faith in your abilities.
Yeah, I don't. Have you seen how we've been rolling?
Abilities.
Abilities.
1 plus. That could be a 4 at the lowest.
Do it.
Your call.
Do it.
Alright, we're
Roll.
gonna gamble. We're gonna
All
gamble.
right.
Right.
No, that's an 8. Okay. What are the cards?
No.
2, 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 damage from Morticia.
So Morticia takes a bite out of the fire elemental, and its light
Wait.
fades out,
2 plus
and it
2
dissolves into dust.
plus 2.
So the fire elemental dies.
2d4 plus 2. I got a 2 and a 2.
Oh, 2. I thought you got a 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
So the fire elemental dies, and it is gone.
Ah. But the question is, had it been 4, would the elemental still have lived?
No.
Because then it
It
wouldn't
was
have
pretty
mattered.
It was pretty low though. Yeah. Anyways, so now it is on.
Billie Jean.
No, I thought it was on the. Oh, that's right. I was going to.
Oh, it's on our friend in the ethereal
Yeah.
plane. It's on Twitch Switch.
Shit.
Well,
I am. less distraught than I should be at seeing my traveling companion float past me, flipping me off. And I think to myself, I wasted this spell slot on that fucker.
He had armor and everything.
But we're just gonna dagger our way around. We're stabbing McStabberson right now. That's a crit.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
Good crit.
and that's a 17 plus 7, so 24. So both are gonna
Yeah.
hit. But we get to roll a bunch of damage for.
That's the crit is huge.
Yeah, the crit is
crit's
huge here. So we get to double the dice, which is all of these.
We don't need these.
No, I know.
So there's
Start rolling a new
5,
character.
11.
Can I clear the map now?
12,
Is that
Yeah, I gotta roll a new character. Excuse
Table
me.
flip.
17,
Worse.
21, 20.
But I'm like the
There
dirty
are
one.
options.
No.
It's sort of
The
like
opposite. I'm the dirty twin.
It's sort of like Princess Bride. There's like, options in death. Because they can, like, a cleric can learn a resurrection spell. Like, there's some stuff that you
We
guys
can travel somewhere and pay someone exorbitant amounts of money to bring you back.
Or he
36.
can reroll as his twin.
30.
His twin.
36 points of
No, we
damage.
don't.
His twin arachnophobia. There's fires down there.
I like to think he just embraces the filth, like the dirtiest,
Dirty Steve.
no, hypochondrius and Steve.
It's my brother.
36 points of damage.
Oh man, that's gonna hit like a brick.
Holy
So the
shit,
old man,
nice.
and he's half of him is still in the ethereal plane, so he rocks back and he's. All right. So yeah, he's looking a little bloodied now, and he's like tasting it, like delightful. And now
And
it is
if you guys
on.
were around, I would tell you, step up your game, guys. I can't do this by myself. But none of you are around, so I just say this out into the ether.
Okay, so it's on you.
Okay. All right. So, is there still an elemental up, or like what's going on?
There's a water element.
There's a
It's a
well.
water elemental.
It's like Jenna's welly.
I feel like I haven't been having much luck with the big guys, so I'll try and go for the water elemental
Okay.
with the great axe. That's a 14.
That will with the water elemental.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll hit.
Yeah. I'll do my second attack. Is a 21.
That'll hit.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that a crit or was that just a raw, like an
It's
additive
14
21?
plus 7.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
Both will hit.
So.
Looking at the new stats.
No, I'm looking at understanding.
9 plus.
I'm trying to
Come on.
understand death.
I just want to learn about death.
You know, aren't we all?
Trying to come to terms with
16
what
points
happens.
of damage.
Alright, so you take a huge slash out of the water elemental. You feel that your axe just doesn't necessarily find 100% purchase,
Yeah.
but you are able to do a decent chunk of damage. So it's looking kind of like bubbly and it's kind of has, yeah, exactly, just like that, like a murloc, yes. So now it is on Wexley.
I boldly step out of the closet and run up to Hypochondrius' corpse and touch him and cast Revivify. So this is you touch a creature that has died in the last minute, and the creature returns to life with 1 hit point.
Must
He
be.
showed it to me. He showed it to
Yeah,
me.
the spell can't return to life a creature that has died after old age, nor can it restore any missing body parts. And it's also cost me 300 gold. You owe me. With the tear kills.
He showed it to me. Yeah.
Do you have 300 gold?
Yeah,
Alright.
56.
That's legit. DM ruling on the play.
So Hypochondrius takes in a breath, and he blinks.
You are
around.
still sitting right next to this old man, though. So
1 HP.
Just go back down.
yeah, just
Stabs you again.
keep playing dead. Do I see his spirit floating back through the ethereal plane, flipping up on the way back down?
Yeah. So his spirit comes back down from the ethereal plane.
Wexley, I need to say thank you. And if there's an installment plan kind of thing, I don't have 300 on me right now, but if you have some kind of pay by the month type deal,
Just have your people call my
how
people.
does the financing work?
Has
on
a
a thing
user's
like this?
interest rate,
Is there a down
though.
payment? Because
It's
I'm
it's
not
pretty
going to be able to reduce
Yeah.
it.
So 300 gold vanishes as it goes to your patron deity.
It's
from your
nothing
wallet.
short of predatory.
Gold for spells?
Well, it was
That's
300
actually-
gold worth of
Worth of
diamonds.
material.
It actually
Yeah.
does. So on D&D Beyond,
Mhm.
it does have restore. Like when you give 3 failures, it has restore life with 1 HP under like a subcategory,
Mhm.
which I assume is for cases like this.
Like that spell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit it.
Hit it!
Confirm. Yes, I'd like to confirm.
You're back.
1 health.
The man, the myth, the legend himself.
Wow.
I thought we lost you
It's
there.
unfortunate that spell was repaired.
I mean,
Oh man.
Yeah.
I know. I was
Thank
like,
God
wait,
you don't have
so-
to meet Steve. That would have been terrible.
It's like when you said resurrection spell, I was like, wait. I have one of those.
I know. And then he's like, wait. Showed it
Yeah,
to me.
the problem is when you're in combat and if it's been over a minute, then it gets exponentially more difficult to bring people back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I still have my
if he had
bonus
waited
action.
another turn,
If you
So,
waited each
my
round,
spiritual
6
weapon is
seconds.
still floating
Oh.
around.
Yeah, so your sword make an attack.
19?
Damn,
That'll hit.
Wesley.
Hey.
What a turn!
And it's 11 points of damage.
All right.
Dude.
So, yes, 11 points of damage indeed. So he's looking a little rougher now. He's looking kind of cringing his way up, but
Like
he
maybe
looks as
2/3.
mean and nasty as ever. Okay, so then now it is on the water elemental, which is still kicking. So that is going to attack. So you ran up close.
Oh, wait, I still have a water elemental, right?
Yeah, make an attack for your water elemental. To add.
He was
to add.
plus what again?
+7.
22.
That'll hit.
Nice.
Who's he attacking?
The dude.
The old man. Right.
And it's 2d8 plus.
2d8 +4.
Yep. 2D, and you can do it. You have 2 attacks, so you can do 1, and then you can.
Oh yeah, I need to roll for the second attack.
Yeah.
21.
Both will hit.
Alright.
Nice.
So
48,
48 plus 8.
4, 9, 13, 17,
Nice.
21
25.
25. 25.
plus 8.
Okay.
What a turn!
Nice.
Clutch.
Get 'em.
All right.
Saving lives, murdering old men.
I know.
That's the way to go.
another.
All
we
in a
do.
day's work.
So
for Wes.
he takes that hit. He's looking
Like
a little
most
rougher
priests.
now.
Yeah, typical priest.
It's like most priests. Okay, so he's looking pretty rough right now. Now it is on him, and he is going to.
I play dead.
Yeah. He's gonna look at all of you all, and then
Uh-oh.
he's gonna go like this and close his eyes.
Uh-oh.
And then suddenly in the ethereal plane, his other arm stretches out and there's a fiery ember-based rod. yes, you get it. It's doing 2 attacks. I'm guessing above 20s will hit. And then
I'm gonna die in the ethereal plane, guys. And you guys won't be able to save me.
And he doesn't have another 300 gold.
so let's see what do we got here.
I have gold I can give you.
Maybe the demon will protect you.
The thing is, you guys wouldn't be able to reach me.
But the
Nine.
demon needs to preserve you for the
17.
deal. Otherwise, the
True.
demon can't lose a bargin.
That's true.
Maybe the demon's just
Part of the
watching.
bargain.
He's like, when this guy gets to 1, I'll swoop in.
Maybe it is the demon.
Don't worry, I take half damage. So.
I have 830 gold, so we're good.
17.
How much? How many dice do
He's
you roll,
rolling too
sir?
many dice.
Alright, so you can take 15 points of water damage. 10 points of water damage, 10 fire, 10. Well, he's hitting even numbers randomly enough. So
30?
Yeah, so 30 all.
Halved to 15 because I'm using my uncanny die.
Alright, so then.
Guys, I'm hurting a little.
So
We can't hear you.
as you see kind of this like static start to happen right behind the old man. In your plane, you see him sort of standing still and this kind of like crackling light happening behind him. And then you almost glimpse a form of Twitchley Switch kind of juking away from the
Is
tabs.
that? No.
And
It's
then,
fine.
but
More
immediately
fancy
once
than
the
Twitch.
once the
Yeah.
impacts fade, it goes away. So now it is on. Hypochondrius and Paddington.
I have first.
You are whatever order.
Do you have any potions or
you
anything?
prefer.
I have no potions.
Throw your biggest spell at this guy.
Is
And
it
then
just
back
him
away.
left?
There's a water elemental in him.
Okay.
Water elemental's kind of hurting.
Gonna assume my spell slots didn't like regenerate.
Being dead is kind of like a long rest.
It's a really long
It's the
rest.
literal longest rest you can take.
It was a really long rest.
I know.
For 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm gonna bonus action. I can bonus action before action, right?
Yeah.
Bonus action, Misty Step the fuck out of there. So I'm gonna teleport back 30 feet.
There we go.
To the closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
The closet.
back 30 feet, but I still want to see everything in range. And then I'm going to.
So you're back in like the bed chamber back here.
Okay,
Into
but I
the-
can still see him, right?
You're in the bed recovering laser beams from the dead.
I guess I'm gonna fireball again.
Yeah. There's 3 people around him. Yeah. So yeah, you're lying in
'Cause
bed.
I mean, I can't heal. I can't do
I think
that.
fireball's fine, and you have your buff still on.
Which I think was was on him. So that's gonna be 10d6. He has to
That
save
counts.
against Dex 14.
Yep. Let me do that.
Oof. 14.
13.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
I'll count.
All right.
You lucky dogs. I'm
Okay.
rolling bad tonight.
Oh fuck! Not a d6, not d20. Stop
Keep rolling
it.
d20s.
It's just like Chase.
Oh, I rolled a 20.
It's
Another
binary.
20.
You get 2.
2, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 18, 22, 24,
Last one.
27. 27. That was 10, right?
10d6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
27 points of fire damage. To him, and nobody else is around, right?
So, from your bed, how do you want to do this?
Oh.
To both the water elemental and the old man.
Nice.
Oh man, as I'm
I feel like this is appropriate for you.
I just take an exhausted seat on the edge of the bed, drained a bit from dying, looking at my upcoming payment plan to pay for the resurrection, which
It's a bummer.
and I just with this fireball with all of my force push it out at him.
This glowing middle finger of flame.
Just throw that fireball out.
Just right out.
Weave it around everyone else. Make sure it doesn't hit them.
Yes.
If it hits Chase,
Yeah, it's a little
and-
singe in the ethereal
Wrong
plane.
plane.
And to
Wrong
think,
plane.
I gave you armor. Never again.
And right into him
So then,
In the bottle.
this middle finger
in the butthole.
slams into this old man right in the butthole.
Yay.
He explodes in fire. The water elemental dissolves in steam, and there's just a skeleton standing up before it.
And there's just burnt poop
crumbles.
spray out of his
Yeah,
balls
there's
go on
burnt- yeah.
hypochondrius.
Excellent.
Yes.
No, 30 feet away.
He's 30 feet away.
Physically
Puts up
impossible.
a shield. Puts up a shield. So yes, so thankfully he crumbles to dust, and you all still hear the sounds of some light skirmishing happening, but immediately once the old man drops, you hear kind of the battle outside start to take a faster turn. Like it seems to be like less intense, less desperate.
Someone's died.
Wait, are you still in the ethereal plane?
Yep.
Well, let's get that dagger and get out of here, guys.
Yeah,
Unless
do we-
I'm gonna loot the body.
It's just bones and dust.
Why should it be fire? I loot the room for any cool weapons besides the dagger.
There's a dagger.
Besides the dagger.
Do we think the dagger is still booby trapped, or is it like safe now?
No, we should definitely have hypochondrius go check though.
Got my 1 health, but I'll take a look, folks. Don't mind me.
Paddington though always takes one.
I need a little love on the healing front. If anyone,
I'll heal you.
I've done my part.
Are there any cool weapons or items?
So as you look around the, so give me a perception. We'll see what you find. So as you look around the room, you see
16.
most of this stuff. Okay, so a lot of this stuff is crafted out of this special metal. The only thing you see in one of the broken displays that seems to have maybe some sort of magical runes written on it is a circlet, like kind of like a wristband. Yeah, and then on the other side of the room, you notice like a set of rings that have that middle kind of woven among different jewels of kind of different colors.
I grabbed them all.
And you all watch her. She's not stealthed. So you watch...
yeah, no, I was going to hand them out to everyone.
Okay, yeah, cool.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, who wants which ring and who wants the circlet?
So,
Ooh.
as you grab the circlet, it suddenly slips over your wrist.
Oh, I
and
guess
it
I'll take this
immediately
one.
tightens around it.
Oh, it's a little tight.
And you're not really sure exactly what it does just yet, but you suddenly feel a strange...
That's not the first time that's
wave of
happened, right?
illness.
What about happened with the voices?
Oh, yeah. They vanished as the old man died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just remembered that. So that's
yeah,
it?
you didn't do that
just-
attack too much more because I was worried.
So it just tightens and that's it?
I was worried I might kill one of y'all.
Man, bullet dodged, you know?
Woo!
Okay, so just to clarify, the circlet tightens and that's it?
Yeah, that's all you sense right now.
That's it, okay.
Yeah.
Who wants a ring?
I see that happen. I'm
Oh,
like,
pretty.
good.
My shaky hand raises.
Cool. Here you go. Well, you pick.
What are
okay?
the-
Even
I also
Josh.
love that we're, just passing out loot, dividing up treasure while there's somebody just
Oh.
chilling in the ethereal.
You don't know any about it.
By the way,
knows?
just a super quick aside, saw Twitchley.
Oh, that
Um,
was him? He looks much more handsome than he
Yeah,
does in real life.
he's still a dick, but yeah, saw him in the
Pragmatist.
ethereal. Saw him in the ethereal plane.
Ah.
Yeah,
Gave
doing
me
well. Looking good.
Hey,
Looking fun.
Well,
Big gulps, huh? Well,
maybe
see you
we'll
later.
See him someday.
So
probably
the
safe
dagger
there.
is still sitting on the table. Is that
I
right?
suppose
Okay.
if we could find
Wait,
a
so do you guys
way.
take rings?
Yes.
What do they look like? Do
I
they
don't
look
know.
dangerous?
So it's just one ring.
Oh,
that
just one. I
has,
thought you said rings.
Oh, sorry. It's just like a ring with banded, kind of like small, multi-fat colored jewels with that metal kind of bounded between them. That's it.
Can any of us Arcana check to see if we know anything about it?
You
About
can
the
certainly
symbols?
try.
Okay.
Roll Arcana.
I'm just holding it like this. While you're at it, Arcana, check this weird circlet thing. It kind of hurts.
Oh yeah, I'll do both. Should I roll separately for both, or just?
For the circle, yeah, we can roll separately for both.
Okay, I'll roll for the circlet first.
It's probably fine. But,
So
you know.
12 for the circlet.
Okay. It looks like a circlet that's kind of stuck to her wrist.
Well, it
Thanks.
appears to be
Yeah.
a circlet or
You're
something.
Weird.
so helpful, Pickle. Thank you.
Yeah. She means it.
Oh.
Ooh, not 20 on the other one.
Yeah, so you can tell that this ring is, because it has this metal in it, it is a leaping ring. So if you turn it to a certain degree, it can help you shift between planes, which is kind of what this metal does.
How convenient.
How convenient.
Does that circlet do this too? Is it the same thing?
Now,
While they're doing this, I just go venturing off.
But
into
by the
ethereal
way-
plane.
Yeah, so you walk, and it's kind of this flat plane.
if
Well, do you want
And
it?
you kind of keep walking, you kind of still
Well,
see the figures of your...
If I might interject, if by any chance we wish to bring our good friend Twitchley back, perhaps I could
Acquaintance.
join the ethereal plane again with the ring.
Oh, you're assuming that I've told you what this ring does.
Hmm.
I'm kidding. I shouldn't even.
And I could give it to Twitchley and allow him to rejoin us in this plane, assuming it gives him the ability
Well,
to
how
shift.
does that work? Can you bring physical things to the ethereal plane?
My clothes came with me. Actually,
Sure about
I
that?
literally have an ability that can bring something to the ethereal plane and store it there
Oh.
for what it's worth.
Yeah, just
Well,
hold
look at
on.
how that worked out.
I had to prepare it.
Have to prepare
You
it.
can't bring something out of it. Here.
No, not
So you
out.
remember
Yeah, you can only
this.
bring stuff too.
I gotta get a little sign like that for you. Just to hold it up.
I don't know if that sounds like a good idea, but
Well,
Up to you.
I'll give you a ring. Put a ring on it.
Put a ring on it.
Can I at least get like attuned to this thing and figure out what it does? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta tune that for a long rest.
Do I have any knowledge that if I were to bring this ring to
Roll.
Twitchley on the plane, that I would be able to give it to him? I mean, we physically, like, we saw each other, correct?
You saw him. Yeah, so
And we made contact, like, physically got hurt by the other guy. He stabbed the other guy in the ethereal plane.
So did.
Sure, I'm gonna try this. I blink, I take the ring,
Yeah, no, I gave him the ring.
Okay.
I blink into ethereal plane.
So suddenly, hypochondria appears. Let's kind of
By the
beat
way,
up.
just still, quick note, 1 health,
How you
sitting on
doing
1
there,
health.
buddy.
Oh wait, I was gonna heal you. Do you want to come back?
I'm already in the ethereal plane.
You can wait.
Hey,
Hey, buddy.
What he decided to show
about
back
the
up.
middle
Yes.
finger thing.
He looks like he's on the brink of death. It's like, ugh.
About
I'm
the middle.
considering it.
About the middle.
I'm like, no one would ever know.
I gave you the finger on the way to heaven.
He just didn't
And on the way
survive
back.
the trip to the ethereal plane. I take the ring off of his corpse. We call it a
know?
day.
How would you know?
I
You
would,
know what the ring is.
I would just search his corpse for whatever he's got on him.
You know, as a means of, you know, patching up the damage between them. Brought you a gift. You know, you were making a big fuss about being trapped here, so
See,
I'm gonna hand you this ring.
was it being trapped here or was it being sent here by people I thought were my friends? There's a little bit of a difference.
You know,
Bargain for
tomato.
my
right?
soul thrown away. You know,
Yeah,
no
well,
big deal.
You know, should have bargained better with that demon, right?
Two.
Gonna hand him the ring,
Okay.
and yeah, I'm out. Bye. And I'm gonna get out of there before you can do anything else.
So then hypochondrius appears among you, bloodied and kind of.
Alright, I cast, what's it called? Cure Wounds on second level Cure
Okay.
Wounds, so regain 2d8 plus 3.
He explained.
You
He
roll.
didn't tell me what the ring did.
Uh,
I put the ring in my
I
pocket.
know.
I'm like, fucking hypochondria.
Got your nice ring. Bye.
Can I message him?
Yes, sure.
Quick side note. Yeah, the ring brings you back to
You have
this
to turn
plane.
it. You have to turn it.
If you do some little turny, I don't know. You're smart. You'll figure it out. But definitely use that if you want to come back at some point.
I'll consider it. And for now, I have a nice clear path where there's no danger, no traps, nothing to worry about in this
Yeah,
nice
you
ethereal
were
plane.
safely in the
I'm
ethereal
just
plane.
following their
Ethereal
blurry
footsteps.
ethereal forms.
Yes.
Also, everyone said hi, and Pikel said sorry. She was the one who definitely led the vote to send you to the ethereal plane for the demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just passing that along. You know, don't shoot the messenger.
I can't hear you saying
No.
this. Like,
Hey, thanks for the cure wounds, by the way. How much? 9 health.
I know.
And I take out my little notebook that I keep in my pocket and just make some notes.
Hate you and you suck. So as you guys are doing this, you hear the sounds of battle outside start to die down. You hear dwarvish voices like, "Oh, we got them. We showed them out. Put them back in the mines." And you hear some footsteps kind of milling around the hallways around the royal.
I
Is the
dagger
don't
still on the
you
case?
fucking
The
yellow.
dagger's still
I'm gonna
lying
go,
on the-
I'm
on
gonna
the
go run
shelf.
for the dagger
Okay.
before they show up.
At least like wrap some cloth around it, just so you don't touch it.
Okay, yeah, but I feel confident that the display case trap is fine now.
Yes.
I think now that
But
we
there might
shoved
be
the old
another
man into it.
trap.
It's
Yeah.
actually going to meld right into your hands. Now you're going to be sword for hands.
I was actually going to grab it if you
Edward's
weren't
sword
playing.
Edward
fans.
Swordfans. Edward Swordfans?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try and like push the box off.
Yeah. So it was already kind of knocked over
Deep
mostly by the old
magic.
man. So yeah.
Okay.
So that you pick up the dagger and
well, I do wrap
You wrap
some cloth around the handle or something.
Okay, you wrap
And
some
yours,
cloth around your
yeah.
hand, pick up the dagger, and suddenly the voices outside die down. It just goes like you hear like almost mid shout like, "Are we gonna get the?" And then suddenly, kind of like some of the flames around all of you all start flickering a lot slower, and a very well dressed man in a tailored suit with these two like kind of tasteful horns coming out of his forehead. Says,
Fucking demon.
Absolutely wonderful. I think I should take what's mine at this point, don't you think?
What?
Can you do magic it again? Or it didn't work the first time. If we do it again, it
I
won't
could
work.
try to banish him. Should I do that?
That seems viable.
Well, if we try to do that, he'll definitely
Do we really want
fight
to
us after.
fight a
Right?
demon? Yeah. We're not in great
I'm
shape.
not feeling great right now.
I'm doing great. I mean, I see no problems going on here. Have at
Is
it.
it just demagicking it so we don't give the demon the magical
Wait, do you
dagger?
have Banish Demon or something?
It's a spell called Banishment, or I can banish a creature that's native to a different plane of existence.
Is he a creature though?
Yeah.
You could do that for Twitch as well. Banish him back to his plane of existence.
Oh.
Sorry, shouldn't. Spoilers.
Mm.
Anyways.
But I can't
I
absolutely.
has the ring now.
like
You
it
can't
here.
get- Yeah, he likes it.
I like to think that we'd banish the demon, and as you're just wandering around, he just pops up, and you're the only person.
You! Hey, buddy, you remember me? I'm the guy who told you wanted to banish you. How's that knife working out for you?
Did you dispel magic fully on the knife?
I did one, apparently one
There
or
was
two
two,
spells.
and he got one of them.
You don't have
I
any
think
more.
he dispelled the trap, but whatever magic is on the dagger is.
I think I'd be too afraid to try any of this in front of the demon.
That's true. Yeah.
Do you,
that's
you don't
true.
have any more dispel magic
I
slots?
do, but I think Wesley's balls are too small
Yeah.
to do
He
this.
doesn't have the testicular
Yeah,
fortitude
the cojones.
necessary.
Mm.
He says, well, I say you've left a lot of dead dwarves behind, but no harm there. What,
Dead dwarves.
why
You
did you
didn't kill
summon
any
all
dwarves,
these
did we?
elementals from the mines?
Hmm? Say that again?
Why did you summon all these elementals from the mines to kill these poor dwarves?
We did not do this.
From the what?
From the
From the
mines.
mines.
Anyhow, what does it matter to you?
See that dead fellow over
I
there?
suppose one must manage their souls. Just curious
Do you
how.
see those ashes over there?
So you guys can roll insight to see if he's being honest. What's that?
I'll roll
I'm
insight.
saying, do you see those ashes over there?
Honest about
See
what?
the ashes?
Ashes.
The ashes.
That's the
Yes,
fellow.
those bones.
That's the fellow that summoned these elementals, sir.
Except
he
for this
walks-
water one, this one's mine.
He walks over and runs a finger through the old man's
Empty.
ashes and kind of checks it and says, "Fascinating." So they are coming back.
I'm sorry, who?
18 on insight.
18. He definitely. He seems actually fearful of the potential for whatever is summoning these elementals.
Who's
There's
coming
some
back?
fear.
Who's coming back?
Not
That's
important.
I've definitely
It
started
seems
walking
rather
around naked
important.
in the ethereal plane.
He says one of the reasons it's just another reason for just
Sir.
how important it is for me to get my knife.
Sir,
What?
considering we were just attacked by one of those, it does seem quite important.
We made a bargain. You'll be able to live your lives free,
Will we?
I imagine.
Imagine.
Depending on if you are clever enough in these next couple of months. And I get my knife, which sounds like it's becoming ever so much more important to me.
And the old man is mortal.
The old man is mortal.
Whatever.
Sage.
The suicidal sage. Yes.
The suicidal sage. Yes, he is mortal again. Once you give me the knife, of course.
Do we remember, or do I know that this demon doesn't have power unless he strikes a bargain with someone?
We all know that.
Yeah,
know
you
that,
do.
yeah.
Okay.
Common demonology.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll
So who has the knife right now?
and then once your bargain
I'm
is
holding it.
complete, he loses influence over you. So it's like as
Okay.
long as you have an open bargain,
Hey,
he has every right to uphold it.
can I
Message me.
message her?
Yeah.
Give it back to him, but really forcefully. Just give him the knife back.
You distract him.
He just thinks you're gonna hand it to him.
But I want to.
The bargain's done at that point, and he
Give
has
it to
no-
him forcefully.
Didn't
I would
say
like
how
him.
you had to give it to him.
Yeah.
I would like for him to, maybe facing the other way or
Okay.
something.
Okay. I
Can you maybe?
Yeah.
Do you have maybe some decoy spells?
yeah.
that
He
you
hasn't. Has he
cast,
seen that
or-
we are holding it yet, or?
Yeah, he knows that you are holding. He knows you're the possessor of the knife, and you have to choose to give it to him.
Okay.
Dude.
I walk over and I want to walk over to him and say,
Mhm.
look, we're gonna give you the knife. We just need to work out the details. And I kind of pull him over to the side and say,
What
without touching him,
What details are there to work out?
of
I
how
mean,
you're,
he's very
of how you're
interesting.
how you're gonna not because he's gross, but because he's a demon and scares
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
How you're gonna exchange our friend back to us.
Your friend will return to you unharmed, or maybe slightly harmed. Sometimes there are some threats in the ethereal plane, or the elemental planes, as they say. And our dear mutual friend will become mortal, and I will have my insurance that I will be just fine through these trying times.
I want to stealth behind him.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, roll stealth.
You still have Pass Without a Trace on.
It lasts for an hour, I think.
Okay, you're good.
So I get a plus 10.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it still the same roll from earlier?
Oh, good thing I have a plus 10. That's a 19 total.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna roll perception against that. Alright, just barely. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, so you're stealthily creeping up behind him as he's talking.
And so about
to
these
that.
elementals that you were telling us about,
Yes.
where are they coming from?
Well, a few demons and myself used to have complete control over the elemental plane. And we've lost some of our footing, so this device will become especially necessary.
Fucking stab him in the butthole!
So are you choosing to give it to him in that process?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess
Otherwise,
Yeah,
we're
I
fucked.
Rude.
I'd stab him in the butthole and
Let
then
go.
let go.
Yeah. So roll attack.
Okay.
Wait.
Chase is not happy about us making this deal.
We're all gonna die.
Because I think as part of this deal, I'm going to get transported back into this room and die with all you fucks.
He has no power over us. We didn't make a
We gave
bargain.
it to him.
Completed the
You
bargain.
completed the bargain, and part of completing the bargain was apparently getting me back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has to. He's not gonna go back on his.
Which
part of
means
it.
I'm going to show up in this room when he starts fucking all you guys
He
up.
can't fuck us up. The bargain's
He
over.
can.
He can
just
still
can't
fight
control
you.
us. He just can't control us.
If he could fight people, he would have fought the dwarf king and taken the dagger in the first place.
Either way, you gave him the knife. Let's see what happens.
All right. When you say roll attack, what attack am I rolling?
It's a dex
Roll a attack and do. I think the dagger would be plus whatever your. What's your dex modifier?
plus
Dex is-
proficiency.
Yeah, dex plus proficiency.
Plus 3.
Okay,
And then proficiency.
so it'll be plus 2, so plus 5.
So plus 5.
Plus 3, plus 3. So plus 6.
Yeah, plus 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
I get dagger in the butthole.
I mean, I really hope you don't miss his butthole right now.
Not 20!
Hey. All right.
Nat 20, the dagger to the butthole of the demon. This is you don't think you're going to happen on a Tuesday.
Rolling a nat 1 on a death saving throw, rolling a nat 20 while
Holy crap.
Yeah.
forcing a sword into a demon's asshole.
So go ahead and the damage, because this is a demon that has an elemental affinity. Go ahead and roll me. Just roll. Let me see. Actually, I'm just gonna have you do this. Roll these two, and tell me the number of them both. So 38. So you're gonna do 38 points of fire damage.
That could have been better.
Yes, it could have been. So you're gonna do 38 points of fire damage as the dagger bursts into flame, and he screams in rage and agony. But to some degree, he pulls the dagger free and says, "You will not hear the last of me." And immediately snaps his fingers. Twitchy switch appears.
God
And
damn it!
this
I
plane-
like where I was.
And,
Is he naked now?
Yeah, I was walking around the
Yeah,
ethereal
you're
thing.
walking naked.
Oh yeah, so Twitchy
Oh!
appears completely
Oh.
naked. Just
Here, wear this
Downstairs.
dress. Wear it.
No, I throw it on the ground. I'm proud.
yeah, proud.
I got nothing to hide.
I just
And
hold the dress.
far, far away.
I take
Yeah.
1 point of damage from the
Far-
sight.
From 1 point of damage.
I'm much more impressive than you would have imagined.
And then far, far away, a sage on the top of the hill happily dies.
What was his name?
Sage Untitled.
It was Gregory or something.
Yay!
What ultimately did him in?
It was I think
Buttered guillotine.
it was a buttered guillotine with a noose around that once he was beheaded, it would hang whatever was left. So that did the trick.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how I want to go.
Definitely.
Science.
He had tried margarine before, but
Yeah, he
didn't-
tried
It's just
margarine.
not the same
He
thing.
couldn't
It's
believe it
not the
wasn't
same as
butter.
butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe it's not butter.
I was gonna make that joke.
We were all on the same page.
So then the demon takes the knife and says,
With a bleeding butthole.
with the bleeding butthole,
Oh, you got a little something there.
and says, "I will recover, but from what's coming, you won't." And he kind of like waves it tauntingly. You guys disappears.
Bye, bitch.
All right, so you guys are in the middle of the Dwarvish Kingdom, and you hear stomping footsteps, and the King of the Dwarves walks into his throne room. He's like, "Who in the bloody hell took my stuff?" And that's where we're gonna end tonight.
Definitely gonna put it all on demon.
Yeah. So there's demons.
Yeah.
Do you know the demon's name?
You do.
Bartholomew?
I think you said
that's
you
the
can
necklace.
contact him by saying,
Friend.
Friend.
phone a friend. I like to phone a friend.
Like,
So if you want to try to contact and renegotiate something, he
Why would
probably
we
will
wanna
be
do
less excited about it. You'd probably be rolling any negotiations at a very strong disadvantage.
I want you doing that all game long.
Yeah. Like to
For
phone
a
a friend?
friend every game.
Like to phone a friend?
Pull the audience.
Alright, GG's, y'all.
Great.
With dead ends.
Ooh.
Wow, that was emotionally
What a
emotionally
So-
thrilling.
Yeah, that was. I read up a little bit more online about
About
revivifying, like the multiple different spells that can revive a dead player.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, they're